on YouTube now. So, and away we go. Aloha and welcome to those of you tuning in on YouTube, possibly watching the recording in the future whenever you get a chance to be able to check this out. Welcome and thank you once again for being here. My name is Wolf. We were just getting started for us to be able to get in some more live tarot readings with Wolf. And if you are tuned in on YouTube, please feel free to drop some 1111s in the comment. Make sure that you can hear me okay. And for those of you tuning in on Facebook, thank you so much. And I'm just going to share this into one more group. We're going to do a live watch party in the 1111 movement group. And let's make sure that this works properly. And then once we got it live in that group, then we will officially begin the first reading. So thank you so much again, everyone. Just as a quick recap for those of you who are familiar with what we're doing, we're going to do the first reading for someone right out of the chat. So if you want to have a chance to be able to get that first reading, stick around. If you want to jump the line and add your support to the Patreon by signing up there, you can get the second reading and the rewards that come with the Patreon. And if that's entirely new to you, I'll explain a little bit more about that as we go. So I just got to take a couple moments here just to be able to pin a couple posts and get things all situated. And yeah, if people want to already start signing up for the Patreon, please feel free to do that. The Patreon is, again, an awesome way for you to be able to help support the ongoing work that not only that I do, but also that we are creating as a community. And it helps support me as a director for Paradigm Shift Central, which is a global community helping support conscious creators and leaders. And again, when you sign up on the Patreon, you can get the next on-air reading. Plus, you can also get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystal when you sign up at the preferred $11 level, and other perks, including having access to me as your private conscious media coach. So there's a lot of value there. All right, I'm going to explain a little bit more of that as we go, but in the meantime, I'm going to start the watch party in the 1111 group, and then once we do that, like 50 people join in, so we're gonna make sure that things are nice and ready. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, if you haven't yet, click the link in my bio and jump over to YouTube to be able to tune in there. And so again, our objective for tonight is to be able to provide awesome value by doing tarot readings, but also to be able to help invite people to sign up and support on the Patreon as we continue to work towards our goal of 200 by 2020. So I'll explain a little bit more about that as we go, but in the meantime, let's just focus on launching this broadcast in the final in the 1111 movement group. Shout out to them. I'm one of the admins there, so huge thank you to Jessica and everyone there. All right, let's make sure this is working properly, and then we'll get right into our first reading. So, all right. Welcome to those of you tuning in on the 1111 movement group. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope this broadcast manages to reach as many people as possible so that we can get as many people tuned in for the inspiration that we are sharing tonight during our broadcast here with live tarot readings with Wolf. My name is Wolf. I'm a full-time conscious media creator. I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker. I'm really passionate about helping support and inspire other leaders, helping us come together as a team of shifters, of light guardians, and that's essentially a big part of what we're doing right now. We're not just doing tarot readings. That's the beautiful part about it, is that we are building a team. We are coming together as community. So if this is your first time here and you are interested in getting a reading on air, drop a 222 in the chats. Yo, I just want to give some quick shout outs. Aloha to Bonita, Meza, Ariz. Aloha to Eddie Grace, one of our Patreon supporters. We got a few Patreon supporters already in here. I'll do my best to give as many shout outs as I can. Tefnut, April, Philip, aloha. Welcome everyone for joining in. Again, we're just going to give an extra moment here to make sure that people in the 1111 movement group are able to tune in. And so I'll give you a quick recap of how we do things here. So our objective here is to be able to provide inspiration for the community, for us to be able to tap in and check with like the cosmic messages that are coming forth in this time for us as a team. And these aren't like fortune telling readings. This isn't like a psychic reading. This is us simply opening up to the question of show us what we need to see And then for us to be able to practice being conduits, working with the cards, the tarot cards, to be able to receive that message. And we've been doing this for a while, and it's always really fun. Everyone's kind of got their own style to doing tarot readings, and welcome. And I allow yourself to just relax, have fun, join the chat, chit chat with everyone here. Again, this is also about team building as well. So here's your basic instructions for those of you who may be brand new. Aloha, Karen. We got 2 Karens. Aloha, Karen and Karen, Patricia, Lynn, Jessica, Casey. Thank you so much for those of you tuning in on the 1111 movement movement. Sorry, I'm like reading things and saying things as I'm reading them. In the 1111 movement group, a huge shout out to Jessica, one of the fellow admins. I'm one of the admins within the 1111 movement group, for those of you who aren't familiar. But again, it's super awesome to be able to have you here. All right, so here's a quick introduction for how things work with the readings that we do here on air. We're going to do one reading right off the start for someone out of the chat, and I'm going to give you the instructions for that in the next second. If you would like to be eligible for that, here are your first instructions. Share this broadcast if you haven't already yet, and then stay tuned for the next instruction. The additional readings that we do beyond that point are for people who are signing up to the Patreon as we are on air broadcasting. And the Patreon, again, the Patreon is a super awesome platform for people to help support artists that they love. And Patreon is a monthly micro contribution. And for those of you who want to be able to sign up for the Patreon and you're interested in that, there's some additional rewards and incentives to be able to help like make it an easy yes for you to be able to be like, yo, this is awesome. There's a lot of value to this. And one of those awesome values is the idea that you can also get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystal when you sign up at the preferred $11 level, though you can also sign up at the $3 level and the $5 level as well. And the other part of signing up at the $11 level is that you can be involved in our community as a leading member, which is our private membership for conscious media creators and leaders. And this is a really cool part. You also have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, which is valued at over $250 a month. So that means you get to like do one-on-one Skype calls with me and talk about things that you want to create, you know, YouTube videos, Instagram, live videos. Maybe you want to do tarot readings like this. Maybe you want to start your own Patreon. Maybe you want to be able to like work more towards building that regenerative income. So we'll talk more about the Patreon in a minute. You can see the link on screen. So if we can get people already who are eager and in the position to say yes to sign up for that Patreon, please do that, because you will be the next person who we do that reading for. And in the meantime, we're going to get right into this first reading. So again, check out the Patreon. I'm posting the link for that down in the chat. And again, the Patreon supports the work that I do for the community as a director for Paradigm Shift Central. And if you're not familiar with my work, go to the Patreon and you'll see the introduction. And again, I've been creating conscious media for over 10 years. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker, and I'm super dedicated and devoted to being able to help impact the world through the creation of conscious media and building a team of shifters. Sounds pretty cool, right? So thank you for being a part of this, especially if this is your first time here. All right, let's get right into this first reading. So here are your instructions. We're going to pull a card for someone from the chat. And then the next reading will be for the first person who signs up for the Patreon. You can see at the bottom corner, we're working towards our goal of 200 Patreon signups by 2020. So we're going to see how many we can get today. Let's aim for at least 5 during this broadcast. And again, sign up at $3, $5, $11, whatever works for you is totally cool. Even if you want to sign up for more, it's all equally appreciated. Here are your instructions for the first reading as we get right into this. If you would like to be able to be eligible for the first reading, step 1, share this broadcast if you haven't already yet. Step 2, I'm going to give you a number, and then you're going to type this number into the chat. The 8th person who types this number into the chat is going to be the first person that we are going to do this reading for. And so when I tell you the number, only type it in once. Don't type it in right away. Listen to your intuition. Give yourself a second to like take a breath and understand that there are multiple chats here. We're broadcasting not just on Facebook. We're broadcasting on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitch as well. And so I'll do my best to be able to keep an eye on the multiple chats. But again, the 8th person to enter in this number will be the first person that we do the reading for. And again, the next reading will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon, and you can find the link for that in the info. So again, we got like probably like 50 people tuned in right now. If this is your first time meeting me, make sure you connect with me on Instagram at Mystic Spider-Man. That way, so we can just keep in touch. You can always sign up for the Patreon later, and we do more broadcasts like this. So make sure you're signed up on YouTube as well at Skull Babylon. And again, check out my Patreon just for more information, full-length movies, guided meditations, awesome free hugs videos. Ask the other Patreon supporters why they're signed up, and they'll tell you why. Again, you know, what we're creating here is really, really awesome. So thank you again, everyone. All right, here is your number. If you haven't already yet, share this broadcast with your friends. We'll get as many people as we can tuned in for this. For those of you tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to be able to jump over to YouTube. The number that I'm giving you, don't enter this in right away. Take a breath and be the 8th person to enter it in, and don't enter it in more than once. The number I'm going to give you is the number 777. So we're going to wait a second here because there's a bit of a delay on the feed, and I'm going to keep an eye on this. And the 8th person who types in 777 into the chat will be the first person that we do the reading for. And then the next reading that we do will be for the first person, the next person who signs up for the Patreon. And then we'll keep going forward with that. And again, when you sign up for the Patreon, yeah, you can get awesome, cool stuff, such as a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, and access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, and option to be able to join our live Synergy Circle broadcasts, which is for our leading members and a team of awesome shifters, creators, light guardians. All right, here come the numbers, and let's keep an eye on this. All right, okay, cool. So there we go. Okay, so the first person that we're going to do a reading for today is going to be for Karen. So Karen Graff, who is in the 1111 movement group. Thank you so much, Karen, and thank you, everyone. It's great to see so many people just dropping their numbers down in the chat. And again, if you want to be able to jump the line for the next reading, stick around. Feel it out. Feel if like what we're creating here like kind of like resonates with your vibe. It's pretty chill. It's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. But if you want to be able to check out my Patreon as we're doing this reading, go ahead. You can jump the line and you can sign up for the Patreon to be able to get. Let's do that. Like, let's get someone signed up for the Patreon as soon as we can, multiple people as soon as we can, and that way, so like as soon as we're done this reading, we're right into the next reading. And this is the way how we do the readings here, which is really cool. Even if we're not like, we're choosing it for Karen, but we're also doing it for everyone. And that's like the really, really valuable thing of what we're doing here. If you are here, there is a message here for you. So stick around. This message, this reading is still for you. And Karen is like helping us like kind of facilitate it. Awesome. So speaking of Patreon signups, we already have our first Patreon sign up tonight for the other Karen, Karen White. Thank you so much, Karen. I'll add your information onto the screen real quick, and then we're going to get right into our first reading for Karen Graff. So Karen, just go ahead. Let me know that you are ready for this reading. And again, for everybody here, let's just practice dropping into that heart space. Allow yourself to relax. I want you to just be open to receiving whatever message is coming through. And again, we've been doing these readings for quite some time, and they're always like, again, a lot of people just be like, yo, this is really cool, this is really exciting. And a lot of it has to do with it, again, just like the intention that we're holding as a team. So thank you, Karen. And again, for those of you who even if you sign up for the Patreon, even if you don't get even if like you have the option to get a reading privately as well. So again, when you sign up for the Patreon at the $11 level, you can get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal as a bonus. You can get access to me as a private conscious media creation coach to support you as a creator. You can join as a leading member, and lots of cool stuff. So let's get right into this first reading. Thank you again, everyone. Please feel free to share this broadcast with your friends. Like, just share it because the messages that we're sharing here are inspirational. And if you want to connect further with the team, again, make sure you follow me on Instagram and also our team Instagram at Paradigm Shift Central. So make sure that you stay connected one way or another. All right, Karen. Karen is ready. So for everybody here, if this is your first time, we're gonna guide you through this, and you're still gonna be involved with this. You're still adding your energy. This is like a group effort that we got going on here. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And again, for the Patreon sign up, it only takes 3 minutes to sign up. So thank you, Karen. This is with the Ananda Tarot thing, either the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightwork a bit later. All right, Karen, everybody here, just close your eyes if you want to. Straighten up your spine. Put your hand on your chest if you wish. Allow yourself to relax. And Karen, for everybody here, I invite you, just bring yourself into that place of gratitude. Feeling just the joy of being surrounded by people who are passionate about helping change the world, helping accelerate the shift in consciousness. Shifters, light guardians. And so, Karen, as you're in this space, and again, for everybody here, speak that with your heart. And I want you to just speak that a few more times and just be in the resonance of that intention. And as you're doing that, I'm just going to charge up the deck. And when you're ready, Karen, you're going to type now into the chat. And as you type now, we'll pull the first card for you. And in the meantime, I'm just going to do a little bit of flowetry. So take your time. And so here we are once again, my friends, light guardians and shifters, coming across from all the many ends, from all the different corners of this world, to be able to bring inspiration to all the boys and all the girls, to the child within our heart, to be able to hear the message of how we will change this world with our art. And so as Karen types now into the chat, we split the deck and we see what message the universe has. So there we go. So there's the first card there. Let's see what we got. And let me just charge it up a little bit more with the beautiful Lemurian light guarding crystal. We got a lot of different Lemurian light guarding crystals. I'll show you. There's like different colors and stuff. All right, so the first card that we have pulled here for Karen, and then we're going to do our next reading for Karen White afterwards. And Karen, thank you again. And again, we'll keep an eye open for more Patreon supporters as we go. The first card that we have pulled for tonight on behalf of Karen for the team is Flames 7. So allow me to open up the book here. And with the way how we do this, my style is to be able to literally read what is written in the book, and then from there we expand on it with my personal sort of introspection, and in just being able to expand upon it even further. So Flames 7. All right, cool. All right, so thank you again, everyone. For those of you who are here, it's an honor to be able to be holding this space together as a team. Let's see what message this card has for us. And again, please feel free to check out the Patreon in the meantime. That way so you can just like scope it out. And thank you to our Patreon supporters who are here as well. Hey, Diane, thank you. One of our Patreon supporters. We got a few Patreon supporters hanging out with us. Awesome. All right. Let's get right into this. Okay. So Karen, for you, for everybody here, again, if you are tuned into this message is for you. For those of you tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. That way so you can see the proper angle. Otherwise, it might be hard for you to see the card properly. All right, you guys can hear me okay, right? Drop an 1111, just make sure you can hear me. And then just kind of allow yourself to be open to what this card has to say. Here we go. I'm just going to turn down the music just a little bit. All right. 7 of Flames. Just looking at the image here, what do we have? We have this beautiful rainbow spectrum igniting into the sky. All the colors of the entire chakra system, all the resonance. And in the background, you can see there's like this... Oh, hold on. I'm holding it upside down. I'm like, what am I looking at here? So, it's weird though. Okay, so like, that's why it was confusing me. The sky is at the bottom. And then it's shooting up, and there's kind of like this wall, and then there's like this this background in the forest, of this forest, kind of behind this wall. But again, this beautiful pillar of rainbow lights kind of coming out of the night sky. Let's read what this card has to say. 7 of Flames. The image. In front of the apparent obstacle of a wall that separates the cosmic from the earthly, the 7 rays of the spectrum appear bundled into one. Meaning, events can bring about sudden change in life. Symbolically, quality of life takes on a new dimension. Perceptive abilities, and the power of recognition experience growth. It is necessary to get a grip on situations and bring them under control, whereby one should remain true to their inner conviction. The real test is a positive attitude towards life. Insight should follow thought, and deeds should follow words. I'm going to reread that. The real test is a positive attitude towards life. Insight should follow thought, and deeds should follow words. Yet, not only are the results of actions of great meaning, but also the manner in which they are carried out. Again, I'm going to reread that. Yet not only are the results of actions of great meaning, but also the manner in which they are carried out. Whatever is done should be done wholeheartedly. The situation requires that one bring forth the intensity of his whole being. A half-hearted attitude brings half-hearted results. The signs of the times push for action. In regard to the given circumstances, the choice of the right moment is very important. One should not try to force change. If one feels cornered, it would be meaningful to follow the inner urge for freedom. Challenges in the sense of provocation should be avoided. An eventual retreat should not be viewed as flight, but as turning inward. Freedom develops inside, not outside. Astrological significance: Mars, Uranus, Saturn, septile aspects. Keywords: fearlessness, collected strength, liveliness, expansion of abilities, conflict resolution, surprises, rebellion, urge for freedom, looking ahead. Traditional meaning: bravery, battle, resistance, pride, rivalry, use of energy and strength, confrontations, threat, malevolence, overcoming obstacles. Wow. Okay, so this is a really, really cool card. And again, as we're reading this card, this is a card where, again, any of the readings that we do, it's with the intention of show us what we need to see. So when we have that intention, this is not, for those of you who may be new to this isn't just like us like doing like a fortune telling. It's not us doing a psychic reading. It's us tapping in to be able to bring forth a message of inspiration that is here to serve us in this moment. And so this card really embodies an inspirational message, because this card is something that we can all relate to in the idea of how to be able to develop new mindsets when we approach challenges within our life. And this is something that can only be developed through experience. If you were never faced with challenge, you would never know how to overcome challenge. And so for you, Karen, and for everybody here, this is a great card to be able to just reflect on how we are personally relating to the obstacles in our life. Do we see them as obstacles, or do we see them as stepping stones? There's a very powerful saying that no one really said this to me in particular, but I remember way back when I was really young, it was just something that just kind of came into my head and it just made sense for me. But it's basically this idea that every great challenge is just training for the next one, is preparing us for the next one. And so with this card, it's really reminding us that when it comes to obstacles, it's okay to step back. It's okay to be able to cultivate inner conviction, opposed to being able to simply respond out of reaction. And that's something that a lot of us have already become familiar with. If you're watching this video, you're already pretty woke. And a big part of waking up is being able to take responsibility from shifting from reaction to response. And a big part of that response is being able to listen to what you need in that moment. So say, for example, something doesn't go quite how you planned it. Maybe that happened not just to try and foil your plans, but for you to be able to see yourself show up in that moment in a way where you make wise choices, meaning you give yourself permission to be able to step back and to be able to go inwards, to reflect, to meditate, to be able to cultivate clarity, and then to be able to see the situation with a clear perspective, opposed to just simply being able to act out of anger. How many times has anything ever been solved simply out of a reaction of anger? Not to say it doesn't happen, but how often can we ever depend on that? It's not a trait that we want to be able to like live by as a virtue. And so with this card, it's really inviting us to expand our abilities by being able to connect with a deeper conviction of what we are capable of, knowing that every single obstacle that comes our way is there to serve us. And this is such a powerful idea when you understand, I literally created a meme about this the other day that really reflects this idea. And if this resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. The idea that the universe will not give us what we want, quote unquote, but it will give us what we need. And when we understand that everything is there to serve our growth, we can understand that seeing any situation from a place of empowerment actually becomes a choice. And this is something that, like, again, I just want to be able to dial that in, because that is such a powerful idea, that whatever situation you are going through, there is the choice to see it from an empowering perspective. So I'll give you like a little bit of an example. Like, let's say like someone does something and maybe it kind of hurt your feelings. It pushed your button. It kind of stepped over an edge that you're not fully comfortable with. Instead of just being like, oh, this person's an asshole, like why would they do that, and things like that. Instead, give yourself the opportunity to be like, okay, maybe this person is an asshole. That's not going to change. But this is also giving me a chance to be able to set clear boundaries for myself, to own my self-worth, to be able to practice clear communication. So even things like, again, a common example, even heartbreak. So again, for Karen, for everybody here, for heartbreak, something such as heartbreak can be thought of as just like, wow, okay, this sucks. This is an uncomfortable feeling. I don't want to feel this. But at the same time, you can see something like heartbreak of, wow, this is actually really empowering, because it's teaching me to be able to learn how to love myself more deeply, to be able to feel where that heart feels like it's broken and be able to send love there, to be able to fill that crack with gold, to be able to, it's kind of like that, I forget the term, but that Japanese term when you take a pot and you put it back together with the gold seams. There's a term. Someone tell me what that term is. It's like, it starts with a K, I think. Oh, I forget. I'm not Japanese, that's why. Not in this lifetime, at least. But again, like, this card has a lot to do with reminding us of our strength and reminding us that every situation is there to serve us. And that if we feel overwhelmed by the situation, that stepping back is not a form of retreat, but should be seen as a way of being able to cultivate more clarity and as an opportunity to be able to return inward. So it says, an eventual retreat should not be viewed as flight, but as turning inwards. Freedom develops inside, not outside. So if you feel yourself like kind of like, oh, how do I solve this problem? And you're just like throwing yourself at it. Like maybe the problem isn't the problem. Maybe it's how you're approaching the problem. That's the problem. So again, like that really brings it back to this idea of responsibility. It really, really is responsibility. Like the problem may not even be something that you have control over, but how you choose to respond to it absolutely is. And when we own that, not only does that become something important for ourselves, but it becomes something important that other people learn through our example. When we can kind of show up and kind of like bring that calmness, bring that kintsugi, that's the term. Thank you, Liz, and Shuzazu. Thank you, Liv. There's a few people that know what I'm talking about. But again, we want to be able to be wizards of peace, like monks of meditation, masters of the mind, in a sense where, it's kind of, I always kind of go back to this visualization of like Neo from the Matrix, where like the Agent Smith is kind of throwing punches at him, but instead Neo's just kind of like, and it's his calmness that allows him to move from this place of reacting to simply responding. And so the next time something triggers you, see it as a teacher. Your triggers, this is a good one. This is like meme quality stuff right here. Your triggers are your teachers. So the next time, Karen, and we're just going to wrap this up here in the next little minute, the next time you are triggered, can you feel grateful for that? Can you see that from the opportunity of being like, there's something to learn here. This trigger is actually like not even necessarily about what's triggering me externally, but it's more kind of pointing towards something internally that maybe needs some attention, that maybe needs some care, that maybe needs some TLC, some tender love. you know? And so again, with this card is really reminding us to use all of the tools in our tool belt, all of the colors in our rainbow, all the facets within our crystals, to be able to approach a situation not just with an old paradigm that's just going to result in the same situation over and over and over, but to be able to open up to learning from the lesson, to know that it is there to serve you, and to trust in that process, that whatever it is that you're going through, you're going to get through it. You're going to be okay. You're going to learn from it. It's going to teach you something, and it may not be just about you. What you learn from an obstacle becomes valuable when you are able to pass that knowledge on to somebody else down the road. And that's the magic of empathy. Oh, what's that? Your friend has a broken heart? Well, thank goodness your heart got broken, because you know how to be able to deal with that and cope with that and heal with that and mend it. And now you can help them. If you had never had your heart broken, you wouldn't be able to help them. It's kind of a paradox, right? It's like, oh, you want to be able to change the world? Okay, here's all the hard stuff, because it's going to make you stronger. Oh, what's that? You want to play a video game? Okay, if you're leveling up, the enemies are going to get harder, but you're going to get better. And so again, this is really reminding us to cultivate our fearlessness, that whatever shows up, we have the power to be able to face it, that it is there for us. We attract not just what we want, but what we need. And can we perceive from that place of gratitude, regardless of the situation, regardless of if it meets our expectations? It was like bunnies or something like that. Or again, if it's something that is totally out of the blue, if it's something that is the best thing ever, can you meet all of it with gratitude? Because underneath the surface, it's all love. It's all the universe. I'll say this and we'll wrap this up. And I just want to hit upon the keywords one more time. Keywords: fearlessness, collected strength, liveliness, expansion of abilities, conflict resolution, surprises, rebellion, urge to freedom, looking ahead. What I was going to say, and this is such a powerful idea because they don't teach us this in school. They don't even always teach us this on the internet, depending on what communities you're involved with. The universe is not here to make you happy. It is here to evolve your consciousness. Now, take that with a grain of salt, because ultimately I think part of the reason why we're here is to experience joy. Yet we experience that joy through the expansion of our consciousness. Otherwise, we'll just be experiencing happiness from a place of naivety, from a place of not really knowing what else. But when we understand that the universe is here to expand our consciousness, it allows us to become stronger. It allows us to step into our power. It allows us to fly our flag, our pride, to be warriors. And that's like a big part of like this energy, is to like activate that warrior archetype and to be able to move through the battlefield of life with as much resilience, with as much determination, and again, with deep trust. With deep, deep trust. I'll tell this to you, and then we're going to wrap this up here, because this was something that served me and still serves me to this day. And drop an 1111 if this resonates with you. Remember that this reality is and always will be the perfect reality. Whatever is happening right now is the best thing that can happen. Again, take that with a grain of salt. But with that comes the non-linear trust and understanding and higher perspective that things happen for reasons, and they're there to teach us, and they're there to serve us. And even though in the midst of the chaos, it may be hard to see, but down the road, you'll get to that situation and suddenly you'll be like, wow, I feel really good with where I'm at. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all those challenges that I met along the way. My goodness, it took me all of these years or all of these obstacles, but now I can look back with gratitude and say I'm thankful for the challenges that have helped me become the person who I am today. Don't wait for you to see that down the road in order for you to have the gratitude in the moment right now. Meet the challenge with gratitude when it shows up, and you will accelerate the way in which you grow. That is where our free will comes into play. It comes into play of how well we are showing up as students, how well we are learning our lessons. Oh, what's that? You're not paying attention? Have fun staying in grade 2 for like the majority of your existence this lifetime, or start paying attention, start showing up, start taking responsibility, start asking questions and learning from each other and supporting each other as community, and move into the next grade and the next grade and the next grade and the next grade and the next grade, and then teach those who are graduating at their own pace as well. Your journey is not just yours. It's how you show up to be able to teach those along the way. You are a wise wizard, and it is here to be proven to you through the challenges that you have invited, have asked for, have signed up for, because you're strong enough. Whatever challenges are coming your way, they are only there for you because you are strong enough to carry them. You're strong enough to transmute them. You're wise enough to be able to understand them. So there we go. 7 of Flames. Ignite the flame. Ignite it. All the flame cards. There's a lot to do with inspiration. So this is a great card, a great message for us, especially as we get ready to move into 2020. And again, Karen, if this message resonates with you, Karen Graff, the first person, drop some more 1111s down the chat. Please feel free to leave your comments. Anybody here, drop 1111s if this resonates with you. Go ahead, leave some comments. Talk more with me. Again, it's not just me talking to you. You're talking back to me. I'll read your comments on screen and tell me a little bit more about how this relates. And yeah, that was an awesome reading there. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I just want to be able to make sure that I got something set up properly. Okay, good. All right. Perfect. Awesome. Sweet. That was a wonderful first reading. Thank you. Thank you again. Karen Graff, our first person who we pulled the first reading for tonight. And we'll get right into the second reading as soon as we can. And again, we'll just take a quick intermission. Karen, if you want me to send a picture of you, a picture of this to you, of this and what's written in the book, send me a direct message. Make sure that you connect with me. If you're watching this broadcast and this is your first time and you're just like, yo, like, this is the first time I'm watching this, but I really vibe with it and I feel really comfortable and this is exciting and this is different and this is community. Welcome. Thank you for being here. It's no accident that you are here. We intentionally do these broadcasts. I intentionally do the work that I do to create a very specific signal that's meant to attract people such as yourself, badass creators and leaders who are working together. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. And Karen says, absolutely, really appreciate this. Karen, thank you so much. And again, thank you all the Patreon supporters, to everyone, because again, all of the Patreon supporters helps make this possible, the value that we're creating right now, to be able to provide it to the entire community. So thank you again, Patreon supporters, for helping make this possible. All right, we're gonna get right into our next reading. Karen White, who we're doing the next reading for, also engaged in the chat right now. I love the fact that we got like Karen's kind of chatting with each other and stuff. It says, completely awesome, loving this. It's giving me sweet strength and wisdom. Awesome, Karen, absolutely. Thank you so much. And that, again, that is the intention of us doing these readings, is to like cultivate inspiration, to get those messages, to see what the universe has for us. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna put that card back into the deck. And we'll just take a quick intermission here because we've gotten the first sign up so far. And like I said, I want to be able to get at least 5 signups during this broadcast, meaning I'm okay to like stick around for several hours over this evening tonight, and to be able to invite more people to sign up to the Patreon. And I'm just taking a look here. Was there another sign up yet? Okay, so far. Okay, so Karen is signed up for the Patreon. Thank you, Karen White. And again, thank you, Karen Graff, for being here. And again, for anybody here, Karen Graff, please feel free to check out the Patreon. Again, you can sign up at any point. You can sign up at any level. And again, when you sign up there, you can also have a private reading with me one-on-one as well, which may be preferred for some people, because then it's like us talking and then we can go a little bit deeper. And yeah, super awesome. All right, I'm just going to post a link here because as we're doing this next reading for Karen White, again, I want to be able to invite us to be able to get that next Patreon sign up ready so that we can jump right into the next reading. So again, for those of you who may be here, we did do the first reading for someone out of the chat, Karen, and now we're going to do the next reading for the first person who we have signed up for the Patreon, which is Karen White. And then the next reading that we do will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon after this. So again, when you sign up for the Patreon, I'll show you as well some of the other Lumerian Light Guardian crystals. So here's another beautiful blue one. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, thank you so much for tuning in on Instagram. Click the link in my bio to jump over to YouTube. Quick shout outs to those of you tuning in on YouTube as we just kind of take a moment here. Damn, look at this green one. Oh my god, this is so cool. Okay, I'm just going to show you again the beautiful Light Guardian crystal. So again, when you sign up at the $11 level on the Patreon, which is the preferred level, you can sign up higher, you can sign up lower, but the $11 level gives you like a lot of value. That's when you can get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystal, and you can also get access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, meaning if you're thinking about like making more impact with your Instagram, your YouTube, you want to learn how to make videos and stuff like that, I'm here to help you with that. That's, again, I've been doing this for like a lot, and teaching other people is a big thing that I'm passionate about. And again, when you sign up, you can also join as a leading member, which is our private membership for fellow conscious creators and leaders, and you can join on air for our Synergy Circles, which is our weekly live team broadcast on Sundays at 7 p.m. The Light Guardian crystals, these are handmade. So every single one here, I hand make these. So you can see, and they're basically like mini lightsabers or mini Excaliburs. Really, really, really unique item. These in themselves, like this Lumerian, this one particularly, based on the size of it, this would probably be worth about $120, like just by itself. Because of, like, again, it's becoming more rare. The Lumerians are becoming more rare, and I'm really happy to be able to share them with you. And we do have the different colors, and we also have the light changing colors. And again, as I'm just showing you here, we're gonna get into our next reading just in a second. I just want to be able to, again, share with people the awesome things that we're creating and have to be able to provide. So here's, each one also comes with a multicolor light changing LED. So you can see there. So you can see that one's like changing colors. And you can use these for dancing. You can use them for meditation. You can use them for like flow toys. You can use them for altars. You can use them for ceremonies. You can carry them while like working with psychedelics. Like I've done that. Like just like having one of these like well on psychedelics, I'm just like, okay, this is like the key to the universe. So whatever works for you is totally cool. Awesome. All right, if anybody has any questions about the Patreon, let me know. And again, we'll keep an eye open for the next Patreon sign up as we go. And Karen, thank you again, and I'm looking forward to just being able to connect you further with the team if you want to get involved as a leading member, and to just, again, be able to support you as well. So thank you everyone for being here. Shout out to those of you already tuned in on the Instagram, on the YouTube. Yo, awesome. Thank you so much. We got Mark, thanks for tuning in. We got Javier, thanks for tuning in as well. Multiple Patreon supporters already tuned in. Shoes Azu, thank you so much for tuning in. Diane as well. And Tanner, thanks for tuning in, Tanner. All right, awesome. And thank you to those of you who may be entirely new to this, tuning in for the first time. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click my bio link to be able to tune in on YouTube. So again, click my bio link to be able to tune in on YouTube, and that's where you can get like the primary angle. If you're watching this on Instagram, this is like the secondary. So click the link in my bio and jump over to YouTube, and we're gonna get right into this next reading. Karen, if you're in the chat on the Facebook, just drop a comment. Let me know that you're ready, and we will get right into this next reading. And again, let's if anybody here is if again, it only takes 3 minutes to sign up for the Patreon, but if you're like, yo, I'm signing up right now, leave a comment first, let us know, and that way so we can just kind of anticipate ahead. And again, I want to be able to do this next reading for Karen and then go right into the next reading. So if you want to sign up with the $3, the $5, that's totally cool. You can sign up for like $1,000 if you want. It's all equally appreciated. And again, that just helps us continue to increase the global impact that we are working on as a team. And again, it supports my role as a director, which in turn supports like all the value that we're creating for the community and fellow creators as well. So If this is your first time here, drop a 222 in the comments down in the chat, and we're gonna get right into this next reading. If you haven't already yet, please share this broadcast with your friends. We got about, let's see, I'm just gonna do some quick math here. Got about probably like 30 people tuned in right now, which is great, which is awesome. So thank you again, everyone. All right. Karen is ready. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Awesome. And again, if this is your first time here, I'm just going to post my link for my Instagram. Make sure that you connect with my Instagram and even send me a direct message. If you were tuned into this tonight and you're just like, yo, like, this is really cool. Thank you so much. Make sure that you're connected on my Instagram as well, because that's like, I post a lot of content on there. And we have our team Instagram as well as my personal Instagram. So Mystic Spider-Man and Paradigm Shift Central on Instagram. And again, if you're watching this on Facebook, make sure that you subscribe on YouTube and you can explore more there. But if you just go right to the Patreon link, that connects you to everything. So that makes it easy for you. All right. Karen is ready. Let's get right into this next reading, and we'll keep an eye open for the next Patreon supporters as we roll through this. All right. Awesome. Thank you for your feedback. Lisa, Lise, just saying, loving this. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, Karen, let me know, Karen, what deck do you want to use? Because since you signed up for the Patreon, you get the option. Do you want the Ananda Tarot deck, or do you want the Lightworker Oracle deck? Each one's got a different flavor to them. The Lightworker Oracle deck can be, like, how would I explain this? It's like kind of more specific to the present moment. This one can kind of be more kind of like non-linear, a little bit broader, but also like really, really cool concepts. Whatever one you want to choose is totally cool, and go with whatever one excites you, and both are cool. So again, Ananda and Lightworker Oracle deck, whichever one you want, just let me know and then we'll choose that. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. For those of you who may be brand new to this, my name is Brendan. I'm a full-time conscious media creator. Been creating conscious media for over 10,000 years. I'm an award-winning Canadian filmmaker who has dedicated himself to being able to help assist and accelerate the shift in consciousness through the creation of inspirational media. I have been building a team of shifters, people who intentionally help assist with the shift in consciousness through acts of creativity and compassion. We do weekly broadcasts, we do live tarot, we do free hugs. We also have the shift buttons. I'll just point those out real quick as we're just waiting to hear back from Karen. Within the project, you can also get these shift buttons. When you sign up on the Patreon, you can get the discounts for these. And the shift buttons are super, super powerful tools. And they all have the Paradigm Shift Central website on the rim. And if you've seen my videos, what I do is I do free hugs. And then I hand these out while doing free hugs. And it's like super, super powerful. And my friend who I just like sent a kit to of like 30 just recently, she like already handed them all out over the weekend, and she had a blast doing it. So again, you can find those at questitemshop.com. It's in the info on YouTube. When you sign up on the Patreon, you also get a discount, 25% or higher for the store. All right, Karen would like to do the Lightworker Oracle deck. So let's get right into this. And again, for those of you who are here, go ahead when you're ready, sign up for the Patreon. It doesn't have to be today. Donations process January 1st, so we're working to get as many as we can. Again, I want to be able to, our objective is to be able to get five Patreon supporters within this broadcast. And so thank you again, everyone. So please feel free to share this broadcast with your friends. You never know who's going to tune in. And again, it might be something where they're just like, yo, I want to sign up for this. Honestly, some people will sign up just to get the Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal, and I don't blame them, because like this thing in itself is like it's beyond just money. Like the Lemurian Light Guardian Crystals are like really freaking special, because they're basically like holograms of Excalibur. They're as magical as you choose to wish to see them, and I'm not trying to tell you that like they like have magic powers, but basically they have whatever you put into it is what they have, and I put a lot of love into it. So, and I know for a lot of people, they're just like, yo, these things are dope. Reminder for those of you signing up, who signed up for the Patreon this month, I'm going to be sending out a message. If you're looking to claim your Lemurian Light Guardian Crystal, make sure that I get your mailing address. All right, Karen wants to do the Lightworker Oracle deck. So let's get right into this. Thank you again, everyone. You're all amazing. Go ahead and check out the paradigmshiftcentral.com when you have a chance, just to be able to explore there, and that connects you with other stuff within the project. And again, let's set the intention of getting that next Patreon supporter before this reading's done. That way, so we can go right into the next one. Karen, if you're ready, inviting you to gently begin to relax. This is our next reading for Karen White, our newest Patreon supporter, who I think this is... Karen, is this your first time tuned in? Like, did you literally tune in and you're just like, I feel like, you know, just like, I'm saying yes to this, and then boom, sign up for the Patreon? And if so, thank you, Karen. Very, very much appreciated. So Karen, just inviting you to get nice and comfortable. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. We're about to do our second reading for Karen, our newest Patreon supporter. Awesome, awesome. All right. So Karen, I just invite you to be able to close your eyes, connect with your heart space, and put your hand on your chest if you want. Add a little bit of a sway to your body. Just be in that place of peace and calmness and of gratitude. Just feeling the presence of so many other people who are passionate about helping change the world, show up as our best selves, to learn from the lessons, and to be open to what the universe has to share with us in this moment. So as you're in this space of gratitude, Karen, I invite you, and everyone tune into this. Just kind of take a moment here to breathe. Karen, I invite you to speak the intention of show me what I need to see. And speak that with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words. So either show me what we need to see, or show us. Show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see. Either or, both is totally cool. And Karen, when you're ready, you're going to type now into the chat, and we'll pull this card. Take a moment here. Take another couple breaths. Let me just give it a second here to charge it up. And with the breath, we see the truth that has always been. As time folds in on itself, we reveal the wisdom and the mysticism of this infinity, to be able to tap into the truth of the knowledge that is within inside you and inside me. For all the pieces of the puzzle are laid out before us, and we are the ones that will truly bring forth this love and this story as we step into our glory, to be able to transcend all limitations and to change this story. So as Karen types now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. Karen, when you're ready, type now into the chat if you haven't already. And as we breathe and we feel the pulse and the life of the cards, we are opened to the message that is here for one and all. A message that is brought forth from the wisdom of the stars. Now, says Karen. There we go. And there's the card pulled there. Hope you guys like my sound effects. Again, when we do the tarot here, it's also like, it's a bit of a performance, right? I'm trying to keep you entertained here. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, cool. All right. Now, the exciting thing with this Lightworker Oracle deck, this deck is still very new to me. So a lot of the readings that we do with this is like, I have not read these before. So I get to discover this alongside. So this is, I get info out of this too. The card that we have pulled for Karen, our newest Patreon supporter, is Spiritual Service. Very, 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 very cool. All right, so give me a second here. We're gonna open up the tarot deck. Thanks, Karen. Karen's like, you're so cute. Thanks, Karen. That's what I do. I just bring that cute factor. That's why people are signing up for the Patreon. They're just like, damn man, this guy's wise. He's funny. He's cute. He's like, I don't know, a badass, right? I write a few of those lines. I'm just me, man. I appreciate it, Karen. You're cute too. All right. Okay, so looking at this card here, and then I'm gonna read from the book a little bit more about what spiritual service is. And again, as we're doing this, inviting anybody here, if you would like to have that next on-air reading, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. If you're already signed up for the Patreon and you want to be able to like get us right into that next reading, you can always increase your Patreon pledge. If you're already signed up for the Patreon and I haven't done a reading with you yet, we'll do it privately, and then that way so we can do it too. And again, I'm just posting the link there. So again, as we're doing this reading for Karen, let's set that intention of getting that next Patreon sign up nice and ready so that we can get right into that next reading. Mark, yeah, you can message me over Facebook. That's totally cool, Mark. No worries. Okay, so looking at the image here, spiritual service. Well, my goodness, this seems awfully relative. Kelly, thank you so much for being here. If you click on my bio link on my Instagram, you can tune in on YouTube, and that's kind of like where the rest of the crew is right now. So for anybody tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my bio. For anybody on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. All right, okay, let's look at this here, because that way so you can like, because I'm speaking to that camera and you don't always see what I'm pointing at. All right, so image wise, wow, take a look at that image. Okay, so we've got this like human higher dimensional figure holding a globe in their hands with this angel, I'm just kind of using common terminology, flying around the globe with their wings spread, their arms spread, and this person behind them has like this like light shining out of their third eye, just exploding out of their third eye, and these beautiful blues. And again, they're just like holding it in their hand very gently, and they have this very peaceful and purposeful look on their face. So it's a very, 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 very powerful symbology going on here with this card. So let's dive in a little deeper. All right, for those of you on Instagram, I'm gonna have to restart the broadcast in a second. I'm gonna do that right now. Instagram, I'm gonna restart the broadcast, or else it's gonna cut out in a second. Click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. If you're sticking around on Instagram, click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube. All right, I'll see you there. Give me 1 second, team. I just need to restart the Instagram broadcast, which will just allow more people to tune in. This will literally just take 2 seconds. For everybody here, real quick, drop in the comments, where are you tuned in from right now? Like, where are we right now? The team, everyone, anchoring in the grid. Where is everybody tuning in right now? And just take a moment here to breathe. Again, I just gotta do a little bit of back end right here. It just takes an extra minute, but we'll be, and then from there we're gonna dive into this reading. That way so no one misses it. And go ahead and guess where I'm tuned in, where I'm broadcasting from, if you don't already know. And thank you again, everyone, just for being here. Really, really appreciate it. All right, restart. We are now back on Instagram, and I just gotta post the pinned comment. Pew, pew, pew. And then once we got that, I'll just read a little bit about where people are tuned in from, and then we are going to get right into this. And again, for those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click the link in my bio to be able to join in on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, I implore you, is that the right word? I'm begging you to click the link on my bio to tune in on YouTube. That way so you can see the camera angle, because I'm not, the camera's here, you're here, and I'm talking to that camera. So if I'm not always talking to both cameras, you're not going to see what I'm showing you, but I will show you what we're looking at in general. So this is the card that we're doing right now. Is my volume working on the Instagram? Misha, can you hear me on Instagram? Drop an 1111 just to confirm. Pretty sure you guys can hear me okay. All right, let's get into this. For those of you tuning on Instagram, click my bio link. Thank you. All right, as we're doing this, again, for those of you here, let's get ready for that next Patreon supporter sign up. So if you want to be able to jump the line and be the next person on air, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon, and again, add your support there. Lots of value there, including the Lumerian Light Guardian crystals, access to me as a private conscious media creation coach, and lots of other cool stuff. All right, we got people tuned in from Pennsylvania, Whitby. Yo, Eric, thanks for joining in, man. We got people tuning in from Florida. Karen tuning in from Florida. Awesome. And I am in London, Ontario, Canada. I think it's funny that my mom's British. I'm half British, and she was born in London, and now I live in London. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of trippy. Fractals, man. All right, thank you for your patience. Let's get right into this next card. This card, again, for our most recent Patreon supporter, Karen. And again, if you're looking to get that next reading on air, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. And again, with that, there's a lot of awesome value. And let's just focus on this reading right now. And I'll let you know if there's a new Patreon supporter as we're doing this. But for now, let's just focus on this. Thank you again, everyone. Let's go. All right. Just inviting you to just kind of like relax, close your eyes. I'm just going to shift it up a bit as we drop into the message here. So again, if you are tuned into this message is for you. Pulling this card on behalf of Karen, our newest Patreon supporter. But again, the message here is for the community. Awesome. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Good to see you here. Sweet. Awesome. Lily's here. Misha's here. Awesome. The whole crowd's here. Let's do this. All right. Excuse me. Hold on. I just gotta chug some tea. All right. Okay, here we go. Number 21. Spiritual service. Self-doubt can be a habit that is hard to break. It can slow down your spiritual progress and the fulfillment of your life purpose. Ultimately, it won't stop you, but it can make your progress seem more challenging. Again, that's referring to self-doubt. It's easier to fulfill your purpose when you acknowledge your own goodness and talent and do what you love to the best of your ability. Realize that you are enough, that your work is good, and that you have something of value to offer. It is time to let go of fear of failure, concern about your ability and your right to live a happy and fulfilled life of success. The universe believes in you. You are being called to service beyond that which you have accomplished thus far. That is because you are ready, capable, and willing to step up to another level of spiritual responsibility and freedom. Your mind, however, may question your ability. Wow, this sounds awfully relatable. I have a feeling that almost every person listening to this might be able to relate. You may be afraid that you cannot perform well enough, that you are not skilled or experienced enough, that you are not as good as others, or that you do not have enough value to offer. These are nothing more than wounded beliefs about your self-worth. It is time to recognize this wounding and not empower these beliefs as truths anymore. Wow, this is really cool. Again, we're just reading it, but then we're going to talk through. If this resonates with you at any point, just drop 1111s. I'm going to reread that last part. These are nothing more than wounded beliefs about your self-worth. It is time to recognize this wounding and not empower these beliefs as truths anymore. Be kind to your mind. It will be happier without such beliefs. You can free yourself from the pain they cause and become more realistic about your gifts and your potential. Now it is time for you to trust, love more than your wounds. Wow, that's powerful. Now it is time to trust, love more than your wounds. Speaking right to the human condition there. As you realize these old beliefs, you create more space within. As you release these old beliefs, you create more space within you to receive impressions of how you can most joyfully serve the greater good. No longer hampered by undermining and draining beliefs in self-doubt, you will have more energy to act on your intuition and guidance. If at any time you find yourself blocked by fear or performance anxiety, it can be helpful to release these blocks simply by asking yourself, how could you best serve the greater good at this time? The answer to this question will never be to shrink back in fear. It will always be to choose belief over doubt. It will be to move ahead, to take opportunity offered to you as a vote of confidence from the universe. Whoa, that's huge. I'm going to reread that. To take the opportunity offered to you as a vote of confidence from the universe. This realization will bring you peace of mind, and you can resume your progress and share what you have with the world. If you have been working hard, taking the opportunities that have come to you, and are still feeling as though you're not quite where you wish to be in terms of fulfilling your life purpose and divine destiny, you are now asked to acknowledge all that you have attained thus far. Acknowledge all the people who have assisted in your own, who you have assisted in your own special way, all the positive influence of love that you have added to the collective human soul through your willingness to take your spiritual journey, open your heart, and care about life on earth. Your spiritual service has been noticed by the spiritual worlds, and you will be empowered to serve in increasingly beautiful ways. Your service is already successful and will only increase in potency, power, and peace. Wow. Okay. All right. So there's another thing at the end that's like an invocation, but we're gonna read that after we talk about this a little bit. Drop those 1111s if this resonates, because I'm sure this resonates with all of us. Again, like, the context of this broadcast is to be able to put a message, to be able to speak to other people who are passionate about helping change the world. And how do we help change the world? By nurturing our gifts. And those gifts aren't just for us. They're gifts that we are meant to share. The gifts of our expression, of our authenticity, of our enthusiasm, of our excitement, of our passion. Those gifts are gifts that can help people discover the gifts within themselves. And so this card like really speaks in some powerful ways, and I'm gonna have to like go back because I want to be able to even just like reread some specific points. One of the things that I was really talking about was being able to observe the self-doubt that we carry, and to be able to meet it not with resistance, but to be able to observe it almost in an impartial way, and to be able to understand that it in itself is more so just a wounded belief, and it is something that disguises itself as truth. Oh, I'm not good enough. No one's gonna like me. If I post a video about it, people will laugh at me. Why should I even bother? No one's even paying attention. You are always seen. You are always the observer of your reality. And I'll say this because this is probably like something a lot of people need to hear. Part of your job is to be your own cheerleader, and to know that who you are right now isn't just you. If you are literally sitting in your room right now, doing art, playing a guitar, making something that's passionate to you, exploring something, you are not just there by yourself. Your ancestors, your spirits, your guides, your guardians, whatever you call it, are literally there observing you, enjoying what you're sharing, and most importantly, cheering you on, celebrating the fact that you are simply showing up. And so we have this wounded thought process within society that, the standards are often, put before us based on superficial like representations of talent, or just talent that's like so extreme that it's hard for us to even compare to. You look on the media and it's all like supermodels and sports athletes and musicians with gold and platinum albums and things like that. And meanwhile, here's us trying to compare. But comparison is like, when we compare, like, I'm trying to think of a good way to say this. When we compare ourselves to other, let it be in a productive way. Let it be as something to aspire to instead of something to be diminished by. Let it be something where you see someone else who's up there on stage doing what they love, and instead of saying, "Oh, I'll never be up there. Why even bother?" Say, "Oh, wow. That inspires me to want to make the steps to get there someday myself." And maybe I'm not even trying to get up on stage. Maybe I just want to be able to be in the presence of my own creativity and to celebrate it. And so we need to celebrate our gifts. And when we celebrate them, we nurture them. And this is what I'm talking about, the idea of showing up as our own cheerleader, and to kind of like speak with the guidance of our guides coming through us, and to make sure that we pat ourselves on the back, and to make sure that we recognize and to treat ourselves as if we are our best friend. If your best friend was sitting there playing, trying to play a guitar or something like that, would you just be like, "Dude, like, sorry, that's not good enough. You're just going to have to put that down and do us all a favor and walk away"? Or would you just be like, "Oh, wow, okay, cool." You're not trying to compare it, but you're celebrating the fact that they're showing up. You're celebrating the fact that they're doing it. You're celebrating the fact that you are playing. And I think the way how we tap into our gifts is to give ourselves permission to play, is to be able to alleviate the wounded belief and expectation that it needs to be X, Y, and Z, and instead let it be whatever it is in that moment, simply as it is, and to love it as it is, and to celebrate it as it is, and to nurture it as it is, knowing that that is what will make it get better. How do you teach a kid to walk? By cheering them on. Yeah, come on, this way, you can do it. Yeah. You don't like stand them up, they fall down, and you just be like, "Oh, sorry kid, that's just looks like that's not working. All right, okay, we're just gonna sit you back down, and well, you tried walking once and it didn't really work out, so I don't know what to tell you." It's like, no, you cheer them on simply for showing up, and that is how you get better. Baby steps, one day at a time. And like, just that idea in itself, like, even the other day, like I was at, I'll give you like an experience. I was at like a stand-up comedy event here in my city, and there were people up there, and honestly, I wasn't judging them based solely on what their jokes were. I was happy for them simply because they were up there. And I was like there energetically just supporting them, even for being up there, even if they quote unquote sucked, because they're up there. 100 people in the room aren't. And that's something that takes a lot of courage. So regardless of how good the performance was, kudos to them for simply getting up there. That in itself is worthy of praise. That in itself is worthy of admiration. And when we give ourselves something similar, what does it do? It gets us excited about getting back up there again. It gets us excited about being able to see how we show up. And I think that's a big thing with this spiritual service, is to be able to understand that we can get excited about being able to tap into these gifts almost in the way of a mystery revealing itself. Literally, your job, like, think about it this way, your jobs are your gifts are literally being opened up over time. Think about that. Like, how many gifts are inside of you right now that are half opened? Some of them might not even be opened at all. Oh, what's that? You didn't know that you actually enjoy working with polymer clay? Well, maybe that's because you've never worked with polymer clay before. But hey, go out to the craft store, buy some polymer clay, and you might discover a new gift that you actually have that could create something really cool to be able to share with others. And so we open the gift from inside. We're sharing it with others, and then they share it back with us. It's very much like, whose gift was it in the first place? It's almost as if it belonged to no one, and yet everyone at the same time. It's almost as if our job is to simply carry the gift, to nurture it, and to be able to help bring it into being. It's like the gift is like an entity in itself. It has its own lifespan. It has its own journey. And so the gifts, in the sense of the context of this card being of spiritual service, how do they serve? The gifts can serve in many ways. Music can nurture the soul. Art can open the mind. Words can heal the heart. Your gifts don't have to be, like something that you might even think of as being artistic. Your gifts are the gifts of being heart-centered, being the heartist who you already are. Oh, what's that? You don't do art? No, you do. You're a heartist. You have always been a heartist. And so the role of the heartist sometimes is the gift of being present. And yes, with Christmas just passing, that is one of the most important gifts that we can share, is the gift of our presence. Looking someone in the eyes, holding space, hearing them, asking them what they're excited about, asking them what they're passionate about. And then through that helps them grow. Maybe your spiritual service is to simply be a mirror for other people to see themselves. What if your gift is literally just to compliment people and to help them be seen in the times when they feel like they are not? Imagine what that would feel like in like some sort of abstract situation where you're just like, imagine like an inner child. This is more of a metaphor, who's like in the midst of a busy crowd, and they're like busking on this, like they're on the street, and they're busking and they're playing their heart out and they're playing their song out, and no one's dropping them any change. And then you come along and you see them, and you're not giving them change because it's meeting an expectation of what you expect from their music. You're there because the change that you're sharing with them is an energetic vote of your acknowledgement of the fact that you are celebrating them for showing up. And what happens if that inner child suddenly is like seen and heard and acknowledged and felt and is given words of inspiration? And you say to that inner child, and you say, hey, whatever anybody says to you, never stop playing your music. Your music is a gift for this world, and it's more important than you even know. All of these people who you might think are ignoring you are actually still being impacted by it. And they might not even know it. And I want you to keep sharing it, and I want you to get better at it, because someday you doing so is going to inspire someone else to do the same. And they're going to inspire someone else to do the same, and it's going to create a ripple effect. And together we ignite as this like beautiful orchestra where we're all playing our like metaphorical music, and we're all opening hearts and we're all opening minds. And that in itself is the process of creation. That in itself is the chain reaction of what it means to be able to be human, to inspire the creation, the creativity in action. The mere act of creation, of creativity, is very godlike. You're creating a moment. You're creating an experience. You're creating something that can be shared. It's like a shared dream. It's very lucid when you think of it. It's very, very powerful. So again, for you, Karen, for anybody here, let this card be a reminder that if you feel there are thoughts in your head of self-doubt, of something that says, why bother, then understand that that is just coming from a wounded belief, an old story that has served a purpose up to this point, and maybe the purpose of it is to teach you how to be able to move beyond it, to replace it, and to understand. And I really liked what it said in here, those wounded beliefs, it's like they take up space within our hard drive. And when we understand that and we choose to kind of move them to the trash bin and delete them, recycle them, it clears up new space. And what fills that space? Space where we say yes. Space where we say, I am good enough. I am good enough to show up. I am good enough to try. I am good enough to be able to continue to learn and grow and get better. And maybe my better is completely different from somebody else's better. But if it's something I enjoy, if it's something that makes my heart sing, then it's not just for me. It's there to be seen. It's there to be heard. It's there to be shared because it's going to inspire someone else along the road. And so even just a quick shout out, Misha, who's in the chat, I think it's very synchronistic that literally like before this broadcast, you posted a video today of you playing guitar that almost echoed the message of this card. And here, like, Misha literally put up a post saying like, hey, here's me playing guitar even though I'm learning how to play guitar. And just the mere act of that, I guarantee you, through the power of social media, the power of the interconnected net that we are, gave someone else permission to be able to say yes to themselves. And to be able to say like, oh, what have I not picked up yet? Even though I want to. And again, to be able to have fun playing, give yourself permission to play. I think, again, we'll wrap up this reading in the next minute. When you think about this card's really inviting us to kind of like, it's like a lot of this card is kind of healing the inner child, paying attention to the inner child. What does the inner child want? And again, if that inner child's been wounded, then it needs to be spoken to. It needs to be cared for. It needs to be reminded of something. But it also needs to be invited to play. Because when you think about it, it's so peculiar. If you were to have like a bunch of instruments laying on the ground and you were to invite some adults to be like, here, play these instruments. And if they were to stand in front of them, depending on who they are, guarantee you some of them would be like, oh, like, no, I don't know how to play. I don't know how to play those instruments. I literally cannot play those instruments. Like, wait, what? If you ask kids, young children, go ahead and play those instruments, play with those instruments, what do you think they're going to do? They will not give two shits whether or not it's good enough. They will pick up those instruments and they will start making noise and they will figure it out as they go and they will have fun doing it. Meanwhile, the adults will never even touch them because they think that they're not, they don't meet an expectation, that there's some sort of criteria that they're not worthy of picking it up. They're not officially capable of playing them. And so maybe it's society, maybe it's a story that somebody else has kind of programmed into us. But observe it. Observe if there's parts of yourself that like wants to play, wants to try something new, wants to do something that is maybe drawing you in purely by curiosity. Maybe you don't even know if you're excited about it yet. Maybe the curiosity is enough to just kind of point you in the right direction. Follow that. Follow the curiosity. Follow that which makes your heart sing. And through there, explore. And again, it may not be a gift that you post about online. It may be something very quiet. It may be a mindfulness practice. For example, wire wrapping. That's something that can be very personal. Crocheting, knitting, sketching, journaling, all of these things. Give yourself the gift. Give yourself the gift of that spiritual service for yourself. So again, drop those 1111s if this resonates for you. I know a lot of people are definitely resonating with this. Karen, let me know how this resonates with you. And again, we're going to read the invocation here, but let this card just be a reminder to clear out those old wounded beliefs, those false truths that may be holding us back. Open up the space to new stories of inspiration. Give yourself the permission. Begin exploring those gifts. Pay attention to the gifts that you're already cultivating. Continue to work on them. Continue to get better at them. You're literally watching me do this. Everything that I'm talking about right now, me doing this broadcast, me doing these tarot readings, is me showing up to practice my gift. And yet, even still, I'm learning by doing. We learn as we go. We learn to walk by falling, but not just falling and not getting up, by failing forward. And so give yourself permission to know that, making a note that sounds out of key is simply another way to learn how to navigate whatever it is you're navigating. Oh, that's not the way to go. Okay, let's go this way. Oh, that's not the way to go either. Okay, let's go that way. Oh, I'm getting a little bit better. Oh, I'm falling a little bit less. Oh, things are getting a little bit quicker. The mind is this computer. Patterns and recognition are starting to accelerate, and suddenly give yourself the gift of getting into that flow state. That is powerful. How many people have experienced that, right? The point when you are in your gift relative to what it is, where you're not thinking, okay, I have to do this, but literally you're in this space where you're just like a flow and a channel for spirit, and it just kind of comes through you. And that, I'm sure you've seen it when other people do it. That example of sharing that gift is so inspiring. When you see someone who can just pick up a guitar and they're not playing a particular song and they just kind of jam and it just comes out of them, and you're like, what was that? And they're just like, I don't know. It just was what it was, right? Like, you become this channel. This body is designed to share gifts, is designed to be conduits, is designed to be a channel for creative flow and life force. And so allow that to come through you. Give yourself that permission. Observe where there may be old beliefs. And do it not just for you, but do it for those who you will inspire. And support others who you see doing the same. For everybody here, call to action. I want you to go out of your way to compliment people who you see sharing their gifts, regardless of where they are on their path, and express your gratitude and just pass on a little message and just be like, hey, like, I'm really happy to see you sharing that. Please keep doing that. It's really meaningful. Speak to that inner child. And again, that to you, it might not really mean much. To them, it might mean more than you know. And they might be like, holy crap, here I was about to give up until you told me that. And now I'm going to keep going. And now the ripple effect continues. So we need to hold space for each other as community. Do you guys dig this? Do you get what I'm saying here? Let's read the invocation here and we'll wrap up this card reading. And I'll read some comments on air about any comments that people have. Ooh, my voice is getting a little crisp. Yes, I like that. Shuzazu says, when one teaches to learn. Very well said. Invocation. As I'm reading this, I want you to like listen to this as if you're saying this and even repeat some of it in your head as I'm saying it. Invocation. Universe, I love you. How can I serve you? I accept love's protection and love's purpose in my heart, in my life. Love empowers and protects me, gives me purpose and passion, peace and play. I believe in love. I am love, and I believe in me. May the joy of helping others give me energy and courage to continue to serve and grow spiritually. May all beings receive your love and be healed through your grace. May all those who want to serve be empowered through mercy, compassion, joy, and love to do so for the greater good. Through my own free will, so be it. So, again, wrapping this up, very, very powerful message here. Each of us has gifts. Your gifts are inside of you. There's a lot of gifts that we're still opening up. And every single day, it's like we're opening it up a little bit more. And maybe that gift is like a Lego set. And maybe you got all the pieces in front of you and you have to kind of build it before you can kind of fully play with it or something. I don't know, put some sort of metaphor in there, right? There's a lot of ways you can kind of see this. But again, another way is to be able to kind of tap into the heart. Ask the question of what is needed. What is needed? What does this world need? If you were browsing your social media right now, what do you wish you would see more of? People expressing themselves. People in their authentic joy. People doing something that's outside of their comfort zone. people helping others, encouraging, inspiring, creating, freestyling, jamming, expressing, celebrating, playing. And through that, we tap into joy, we tap into our spirit, and we bring forth a place for spirit to play. And not just play, but heal and inspire. And that is something that moves us further into this story in which all of us live our lives as activated heartists, as badass shifters, people changing the world through acts of creativity and compassion. You are here to create. Take care of yourself. That is your job first and foremost. And give yourself what you need. Remove old wounds, old thought process. Learn. Give yourself permission. Fail forward. Make mistakes. Play. Have fun. Speak to your inner child. And show up not just for you, but in service for others as well. As you grow, we grow. As you expand, consciousness expands. God expands through us showing up. What are you going to do today? Oh, I'm going to go help the universe expand. How are you going to do that? By playing a guitar and being kind of shitty at it, but still having fun with it. Take that metaphor and apply it to anything. Repeat, get good, go out there, engage with others, support, repeat. And that is how we change the world. And that is how we show up in service. By seeing and by being seen. So, spiritual service there. Card number 2021. Pulled there on behalf of Karen. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Karen, let me know. Drop some 1111s in the chat. How did that resonate with you? For anybody listening to this, for Karen, leave some comments and I'll read them on screen. We'll take a moment here to take a little bit of an intermission, and I just have to get some liquid on my throat. For those of you tuned in on Instagram, reminder, click my bio link to jump over to YouTube to be able to tune in there. So if you're just tuned in on Instagram, I implore you to click my bio link to jump over to YouTube, and then you can watch the broadcast properly from there. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in wherever you are, whenever you are. And thank you again. I know we got several of our Patreon supporters already in here. So thank you. Karen, if you want the write-up afterwards, make sure you send me a message and I can take a picture of that for you and send it to you. All right, team. We're going to take a quick intermission. I want to be able to get right into our next reading as soon as we're ready to do so. And again, that next reading will be once we have a new person signed up for the Patreon, or a person who's already signed up for the Patreon if they want to increase their pledge if they wish. Again, if you're already signed up for the Patreon and you haven't done a personal reading with me, you'll be able to get that reading with me based on when we personally schedule it. So again, and you can use that whenever. It doesn't have to be, it could be like a month from now. But you are entitled to be able to receive that, and that can be a private reading as well. In the meantime, though, again, we want to be able to invite people to be able to support on the Patreon, and I'll post a link for that. That's what you're seeing on screen right now for those watching on YouTube and Facebook. And thank you again, everyone, for just being here. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution to be able to help support the ongoing work that I do for the community as a conscious media creator. As an entrepreneur, it's my full-time hustle, my full-time devotion. That's my spiritual service. And when we do that, like that's super powerful when we're showing up in service. And I'm excited that more and more of us are finding the ways in which we can show up in service through the creation of our art and everything like that, through the power of media these days. So again, the next reading that we will do on air will be for the next person who signs up for the Patreon. And the preferred level to sign up on the Patreon that we encourage people to sign up on is the $11 level, which also gets you the beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian crystals, which are, again, exclusive items within the Paradigm Shift Central project. And when you sign up at the $11 level, you also get access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, which is like a value of like $250 a month. Access to other aspects of the project, such as joining as a leading member, and to be able to get a discount for the quest item shop, and again, just like lots of other really cool stuff, including access to some of my secret videos, including my like 5-gram mushroom video, if that's something you're interested in watching. For those of you, nobody's tuned in on Instagram right now. Okay, if you're tuned in on Instagram, maybe click the link in my bio. So here's another. I'm just holding up a beautiful Lemurian Light Garden crystal. Awesome. Thank you, Sandra, for your comment. Says, congrats on your full-time hustle and full-time devotion. I love it. Thank you, Sandra. And again, like, the goal of reaching 200 supporters on Patreon is like one of my milestones for continuing to be able to become more sustained in doing that and increase more global impact. I'm not at the point where it's like officially like, hey, this is like me earning like my full amount of income if I was working for like a professional production studio. But once we reach about 200 supporters on Patreon, that's when it will be. And again, that's why we're working towards it. And again, I thank everyone so much. Your support in all forms is super, super greatly appreciated. And again, when we all give a little, we all give a lot. And I know, like, I always appreciate the feedback that people give, and they're just like, yo, Brendan, I really appreciate the work that you do for the community, and it means a lot, and it means more than you know. And though your comments like that really, really do mean a lot. So Karen said, 1111, it was just what I needed. Yes. Awesome, Karen. Thank you so much, Karen. And thank you for signing up for the Patreon as well. Awesome. Any relative comments? I'll keep an eye open for those. Thank you again. We got Shell, Melina, Shuzu, Mark, Shell, one of our Patreon supporters as well. Awesome. So many awesome creators here. Again, I'm so excited just to like know that what we were doing is working in terms of like building a team. So, all right, team. So, like I said, we'll go into another Patreon reading once we have another Patreon sign up, and I'd love to do at least one more reading. So if you're signed up here, if you're tuned in here and you would like to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and check that out. It only takes about 3 minutes to be able to sign up. And again, and that will get you the next on-air reading or a private reading if you prefer. And again, if you're already signed up for the Patreon and you even just want to increase your pledge, that can help us just do like a general reading for the team. And again, whatever you prefer is totally appreciated. So thank you again, everyone. And like I said, I can only do this for so long at a time because eventually my voice just gets tired because it's again, doing this gift is like a performance in itself. But unfortunately my voice just kind of gets tired after a little bit. So I'll be good for at least one or two more. But again, I just want to check in if there's anybody here who's in the process of just being like, sweet, I'm going to sign up for the Patreon right now. Let me know. And then we will just be able to see that coming. So thank you for holding space in the meantime, because I do just need to take a break because I've literally been talking for like 2 hours straight. So I'm just going to sip my Spider-Man cup. Cool. Augustina says her friend Sebastian wants to sign up. Awesome. If he's available to do it now, that would be perfect. But again, people can sign up for the Patreon at any point. And thank you. Augustina, who I was mentioning, I mentioned Augustina indirectly earlier when I was talking about somebody who I recently sent a bunch of shift buttons to, and they went out and shared like all of their shift buttons over the past week, and had a really fun time doing so. So Augustina, thank you so much for proving once again the power of shift buttons. Awesome. Thank you again for those of you tuning in on Instagram. If you click the link in my bio, you can tune in on YouTube as well. And through the YouTube, you can find the link for my Patreon also. Cool. All right. So, so again, for those of you who are tuned in for the first time, if this is your first time here, again, we've done 3 readings so far. The next, and they've all been great. Again, Karen, thank you for your support on the Patreon for that last reading. The next reading that we do will be for the next person who signs up on the Patreon, and you can see the link for that on screen right there. And again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution, and in that you also get a lot of cool stuff to be able to help support you. So we put as much value as we can into the Patreon, and that value is only going to continue to increase as well. So again, the Patreon, yes, it is a monthly micro contribution. So if it's something where you're not fully in a position where the monthly micro contribution works for you, Again, your presence in itself is super appreciated, and you can always sign up for the Patreon at a later date as well. So thank you again, everyone, for holding space, for kicking butt. Are you guys ready? Are you guys excited to do another reading and to see what message the universe has for us? I know I am, and I'm excited to do it as well. And we'll do it as soon as we have another person signed up for the Patreon, which only takes about 3 minutes to do so. Cool. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in, especially those of you tuning in on Twitch. Much love. You guys don't want to know what they're... The Twitch crowd is a very different crowd. So, I appreciate it. All right. Cool. Okay, I'm just gonna take a little bit of a chill break. So again, when we do these readings, like I'm always like we always kind of like do it and kind of like ride the momentum wave. So if no one is signing up for the Patreon currently, that's okay. That's basically just the way for the universe to say, cool, time for me to go off air and take a break, and I'm totally cool with that. So. And yes, Pamela. So Pamela, when we do the readings, we do the readings with a person like helping pull the card synchronistically, and then the reading is like for them while also being for the collective. So it's really, really cool when we do it. And again, like we've already done 3 readings, and people have already been like, "Yo, this is awesome." So there's always like a lot of really cool value that we're bringing forward through the team. So Pamela, speaking to you in the chat there, if you want to check it out. If you want to just check out more of what I do, be sure to check out the Patreon link, and you can sign up there later as well. And again, when you sign up there, you can also get the beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal. Let's see, do I got any of the purple ones on me right now? There's a green one. Here, I like this white one. This white one's really cool too. Thanks for your comment, Pamela. Appreciate your support. All right, cool. Okay, I think Sebastian's signing up. So once Sebastian signs up, then we'll get right into that next reading. And thank you again, everyone. Again, I know this isn't entirely traditional, and people are like, what? Like, this works? You can get Patreon supporters by doing broadcasts and creating conditions and providing awesome value for the community? Absolutely. So again, if me doing this is like something you've never seen before, and maybe it's a bit confusing, honestly, I hope it inspires you to know that like any of us can do something similar. Like seriously, if you're doing tarot readings and like you want to like learn how to start your own Patreon and things like that, signing up for my Patreon is awesome because it will help you get support in me being able to help support you in creating your Patreon. Like that's a big thing. Like one of my goals over the next 5 years is to be able to help 100+ other fellow conscious creators become self-sustained in what they do for a living as fellow creators. So, all right. Awesome. Thank you again for those of you tuning in on Instagram. If you click the link in my bio, you can jump over to YouTube. Sweet. All right. Yeah, Augustina says, love the shift buttons. Sweet. Okay, so I think Sebastian is signing up by the sounds of it. So we're just going to chill out here for just another minute. If you're watching this on Facebook, please feel free to share this broadcast with your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, like this video if you haven't already yet. Sweet. And again, like, we're not just doing the broadcast here. Like, this is like building a team. And even if you're not signed up for the Patreon, like, you're still a part of the team. You're still a part of the team. There's just like several layers within the team. So like, again, even if you're just following me on Instagram, you're still a part of the team, which is really, really awesome. All right, let me just check here. I'm just testing something in the live chat. Okay, good. That still works. Nope. Oh, that didn't. Oh, what? Did I glitch that out the entire time? Okay, there. I'm posting the link for. Are my messages showing up on the YouTube chat? I think I have to like. I think it glitched out here. Yeah. Okay. It's doing this like weird thing where I have to like re-sign in. Okay. 1 second. I just have to fix my YouTube. Oh no, my YouTubes. Hi, I'm Brendan. I'm from the internet. Have you heard of my website called YouTube? All right. Okay. Shell, thank you so much. Shell, I just want to give a shout out to you. Shell is one of our leading members within the community. Who again is a conscious creator. She's been creating YouTube videos. Shell, again, reminder to make sure you join our team chat and share some of your content there. This January for the leading members, I'm going to be like doing some like individual workshops to like help kind of get people all synced up with like posting through the main website, and again helping get more of your content featured through the team page. There's literally just like so many awesome creators that again we have like an unlimited supply of people who we can feature through the community. And again, if you're a creator, I really encourage you to create your own Patreon, and again to like schedule time with me to do one-on-one readings. Sorry, not just one-on-one readings, one-on-one sessions as your conscious media creation coach, to be able to give you feedback, clarity, and yeah, just to help assist you in taking those next steps forward. Sweet. All right. Okay, cool. We did have Sebastian is signed up, aka Seabass Wolf. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sebastian, and thank you, Augustina, in particular, for inviting Sebastian to be able to sign up. Augustina, since you've helped Sebastian sign up, like basically you've like earned yourself credits, meaning that like next time you order shift buttons, I'll put in like extra shift buttons for you, like as a bonus for it's basically like an affiliate bonus. And that goes for that goes for anybody. If you're signed up for this and you're like, yo, like you know someone that would kind of vibe with what we're doing, let them know, and then you'll get affiliate bonus. Sweet. So Sebastian, thank you so much for adding your support. And Sebastian, if you're in the chat, Augustina, is Sebastian in the chat? And if Sebastian is in the chat, let me know, Sebastian, assuming you're tuned in somewhere. Cool. Sweet. And that was Sebastian signed up at the $11 level, so that's super appreciated. Awesome. I think we got probably 15 people tuned in right now. So we'll do this next reading for Sebastian, and then we'll see from there. Again, if there's another person signing up, absolutely. Like seriously, like I'm totally cool with going as long as there are Patreon supporters signed up. Like again, especially since our goal is to get as many as we can before January 1st. Then literally, like, I'll stay up all night doing readings. Well, not all night, because tomorrow we have our Synergy Circle broadcast. Actually, tomorrow, I'm meeting up with some local leaders in my community, and we're talking about organizing some upcoming conscious events. So that's really cool. All right, Sebastian is with Augustina. Okay, I kind of suspected that. Okay, cool. Okay, so Sebastian, let me know in the chat if you're ready. You can type through Augustina's account. That's fine. And let me know what deck you would like. Would you like us to use the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck? Let me know which one you prefer. Again, the Lightworker Oracle deck was the one that we just did with the Spiritual Service. The Ananda Tarot deck, if you haven't seen that one, it's a little bit different. But again, this one's an Oracle deck. This one's a Tarot deck. So this one's more traditional. This one's more like a deck that someone made that's kind of very unique, but still very cool. So let me know which one you want. And again, I just need to take a second here just to... we'll see. This may be the last reading for tonight, just based on my voice. So, all right. If there's another person who wants to sign up for the Patreon, and like we did this one time before where it's like slightly drunk tarot readings, if that's like somehow enticing for someone and you want and somehow that encourages you to sign up for the Patreon, let me know, and the next reading that we can do after this could be slightly drunk tarot reading. I have some like cider sitting over on the side of the room, and I don't really drink often, but I said this before, like I've done slightly drunk tarot readings before when I was doing tarot readings at like a friend's party, and it was like, it was still fine. Like I was like totally in the zone, and people were totally like into it too. It's like, again, because it's kind of like opens you up in some way, as long as you're being responsible with it. It's still pretty cool. All right, Sebastian wants the Lightworker Oracle decks. Yeah, some people were like, those were good readings, those slightly drunk tarot readings with Wolf. Okay. Okay, Okay, so Sebastian wants the Lightworker Oracle deck. All right, so as we're doing this, what do you think? Should we does everyone here do you think that we'll get another Patreon sign up before we wrap up this broadcast? Do you think we can get one more? Do you guys want to aim for it? We're currently at 151. I'm going to put Sebastian's name on screen right now. That's always like a fun thing. Am I typing it as Sebastian, or do I need to put Seabass? Is that cool? So there we go. 151. Oh my god, 151. We've done it. We've got all the Pokemon. 151 Pokemon. You guys know what I'm talking about? OG red blue Pokemon. All right. Okay, let's get right into this reading. Sebastian, let me know that you are ready, and we'll get right into this. Okay, it looks like the primary audience is just on YouTube right now. Everyone on Facebook has gone to bed, which is okay. Let me just double check. Oh, there's still like 7 people tuned in on Facebook. If you're tuned in on Facebook right now, drop a comment. Hopefully you're in the same chat. Sometimes people share this and people are like commenting on like the shared version, and then I never see the comments. So, all right. Okay, I'll do a cider reading if we get one more Patreon sign up. Not for this one though. I'm already like ready to kind of jump into this one. So let that be a little bit of an incentive. So again, as we're doing this reading, if there's another person who wants to sign up for the Patreon, now is a great time to be able to do it, and you can start doing it as we're doing this reading. So I'm just going to post a link for the Patreon again, and we'll get right into this reading. Okay, Sebastian is ready. Awesome. Thank you, Sebastian, again. Looking forward to being able to connect. And that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome that again, like you and Augustina have been like combining forces and stuff like that. That's so cool. Is this Augustina, you sent me a picture of you and someone else with the Light Guardian crystals. Was that Sebastian by chance? Because if so, that would make sense. Cool. Okay. Awesome. Hey, Rachel, thanks for tuning in. Aloha, Rosa, and again, thank you anybody else tuned in on the Facebook feed. Thank you so much for being here. All right, we'll go ahead and check out my Patreon if you would like to be able to sign up for that to get in the next reading. But for now, we are going to get into Sebastian's reading, who is our newest Patreon supporter. So thank you so much to Sebastian and to everyone. Seriously, let's go kick some butt. Let's go team. I like just like getting all like pumped up as if it's like a sport for like tarot reading. Let's go read some tarot. Yeah, let's do this. Okay. All right, Sebastian, just inviting you to get nice and calm. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, go ahead and click my bio link to be able to join in on YouTube. And just inviting you to drop into that heart space. And close your eyes when you're ready. Put your hand on your chest. And for everybody here, for everybody tuning in, listening, just adding your support, holding space, being in that place of gratitude. Just feeling the vibrations of joy in this moment. And Sebastian, as you are here in this space of gratitude, I invite you to speak the intention of show me what I need to see, or show us what we need to see, and speak that with your heart, speak that with your mind, speak that with your voice. When you are ready, Sebastian, take your time, take a few more breaths, type now into the chat, and we will pull the card for you. Just take another moment here as I charge it up. And so with each and every single breath, the portals continue to open as we continue to do our best. And our best is not a destination, but rather a state of mind to be able to understand that each and every single time that we are right where we need to be. That the best is simply being present with you and with me. It is being here in this moment, being a part of this breath, being able to show up, to simply say yes, yes to life and yes to service, Yes, to all of that which will rebirth this. The Christ consciousness from within. The stories that have always been. The magic of here and now. And for us to see the truth within this wow. Sebastian says now, as we split the deck. Whoa, there we go. There's like an extra card there. It was like holding on for a second, but it's all divine. Let's see what we got. Again, this deck is very exciting for me because there's a lot to this deck that I have yet to read myself here. I'm just gonna move some stuff out of the way. Okay, cool. All right, let's see what we got here. Cool. All right, the card that we have pulled for Sebastian, our newest Patreon supporter, a friend of Augustina, also one of our Patreon supporters, leading member, is number 32, Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. Here it is here. I'll show it to you. Okay, I'm going to open up the book, and then I'm going to read into a little bit more. Geronimus, yeah, it's purely just for play, dude. Like, it's not something I would need to do all the time. It's purely just, it's novelty. That's really it. So, to answer your question. All right. Okay. Hey, Natalie, awesome. Thank you so much for joining in. Okay. So, looking at the image here, we're just going to explain it, and then I'm going to open up and talk a little bit more. 1 second, I just have to, whoops, open up. 1 second, I just clicked the wrong button. Okay, there we go. All right. Cool. Geronimus, yeah, I'm totally open for that. Sign up for the Patreon and I'll do it. I've done that before too, dude. I'm open to it. Okay. 32, Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. What do we got here? And again, this card is like, this is brand new to me too, so we're discovering it together. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, I'm going to have to restart the broadcast in a second after I explain this. Click the link in my bio to tune in on YouTube, and then you won't get any interruption. So looking at this image here, we have two figures. It's not entirely clear whether they're male or female. It doesn't really matter either way. And they have this long golden blonde hair, and both of them kind of raising their arms in exaltation towards the sky. One of them kind of in prayer form. It's kind of interesting. Like, maybe this is Augustina and Sebastian kind of standing here and kind of with their hands pointed up towards the sky, towards the heavens, wearing these beautiful white robes and these just really genuine smiles on their face. You can tell there's just like a lot of joy inside their hearts right now. And these beautiful colors in the background, just kind of like these like watercolor kind of oranges and golds and browns. And yeah, very, very, very beautiful image. So let's go a little bit deeper and read a little bit more. This is interesting. Again, this is brand new to me. Okay, I just got to restart the Instagram broadcast. Give me 2 seconds here. Okay, so everyone tuning in on Instagram, click my bio link. I have to restart the broadcast. 1 second. For everybody here, just take a quick second here. Once I restart the broadcast, then I'm gonna read from the book. I apologize. It's just on Instagram. It only lets you do it for an hour, and then I just have to restart it, and it just takes a second to restart it. But yeah, that image on this one is pretty interesting. I'm interested to see, like, again, like the law of efficiency. What exactly will that be? All right, 1 second. I'm almost here. Oh, cool. Augustina, you mentioned me in a story. Yeah, if anybody here, if you guys like film the screen of you watching this on YouTube, post it to your Instagram and tag me at Mystic Spider-Man. You can do that. And put the YouTube link or just direct them to my bio. So again, people, whenever I'm live on Instagram, the link's always in my bio too. All right, so I'm just posting. We are back up live on Instagram. And let's get right into this next reading. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you again, Sebastian. Thank you, Augustina. If you're still here, just leave a comment in the chat. Let me know. again, as we're doing this next reading, we'll keep an eye open for any new Patreon signups. And again, if we can get one more Patreon sign up before the end of the night, that would be perfect. All right. Here we go. So again, if you're listening to this, this message is for you. 32. Divine Grace, the Law of Efficiency. It is time your life became easier. It is time for you to walk the way of divine grace with trust, simplicity, and acceptance. You do not have to try to make things happen. You can gracefully act without attachment and trust that all will be as it is meant to be. Surrender your struggles now as you allow life to serve you with love and kindness. This is the most efficient use of your energy and will lead to the best results. The law of efficiency encourages us to work smarter rather than always working harder. It is like learning to allow a wave to carry you to the shore rather than swimming the entire way with your efforts alone. Ooh, I like that. Or even against the current, which would make the journey even harder. It is like planting a seed at the right time so nature will help it blossom in the spring, rather than planting it during the dead of winter when it takes a lot of effort to keep it alive. And even then, it may not survive. This is the intelligence of the law of efficiency and divine grace at work. To hitch your wagon to the universe in this way, you need to learn to listen. This means tuning in to what feels right or wrong at any given time. Sometimes you will want to push forward, yet your intuitive knowing will guide you to rest. Sometimes you will want to hide from a challenge, and yet know in your bones it is time to step up and shine with boldness, despite the fear you may feel. The universe has a sense of natural flow, cycles, and timing that assures us that it supports every dream we dare to dream, and that every one can come to fruition in due course. It may not look exactly as you expect, but if you have set in motion with desire and intention, karmic law will ensure that it finds expression. For this to happen in the most loving, graceful, and easy way, you must learn to hear, feel, and sense the currents of life and work with them, rather than push against them. This is about common sense, allowing yourself to be helped, not making things more difficult for yourself than they need to be. Imagine that you have a chance to share a feeling of love in a room full of receptive people. The time is right. They are open, and your efforts create the maximum effect for love's success. Or you could expend the same amount of time and energy by arguing with one disinterested person in an attempt to get them to understand and receive your love, even though they actually have no interest in doing so. They just wish to have their own point of view and for you to agree with that. One is working with the law of efficiency, and the other is working against the tide of life. It is not bad to choose the harder way sometimes. It can be a great learning experience, but you are encouraged with this oracle to explore the easier and more graceful way more often, especially at this time in your life, because there is a helping hand, a natural wave of energy in life that is going to be able to support your rising spirit in manifesting something truly helpful and special in the world. The law of efficiency is also sometimes known as the path of least resistance. We must find the strength that comes from letting go and trusting that the universe knows what it is doing. It takes spiritual mastery to creed to wisdom greater than your own immediate understanding. To seed as in CEDE, to seed to wisdom greater than your own understanding. Then you are surfing the wave rather than swimming against the current. How efficient to work with life and its cycles rather than believing you must struggle and strain to be heard, loved, rewarded, and inspired. You have the maturity within you. Trust now, trust that all will come in time. And then there's the invocation part, but we'll read that at the end. Okay, so cool. All right. So this is a very, very powerful card to be able to receive. And I'm sure Augustina and Sebastian, for you to be able to receive this card, there's definitely elements to it that I'm sure are like, just like, whoa, okay, this is like valuable insight. There's definitely something here that's like serving me. And again, when we do these readings, sometimes it may feel obvious, but sometimes it's the obvious that we need to be able to acknowledge. Sometimes it's the little things that can make the big difference. And so in this case, it's actually really interesting because what this is saying here within the card, I literally had the same conversation with my friend last night when we were hanging out. And basically, I said to them in a slightly different way, but I'm going to say it here because it's still relative, where I basically said to them, you can't change the ocean. The ocean is the ocean. You can't change it, but you can learn to ride it. You can learn to surf it. You can learn to work with it. Don't fight the ocean. Like, what are you going to do? Like, stand there all day punching waves? Like, what? Like, what are you trying to do? And I know, like, you could take this out of context and be like, well, actually, you could control the ocean if you, like, create dams and things like that. But the metaphor here is you don't control the ocean. The ocean is like the universe, the universal flow. You control how you ride it. You control how you respond to it. And so again, I think this card is really reminding us that there is a natural flow to help things accelerate, to help things grow, for things to be nurtured, for things to be supported, for things to be seen, for messages to be heard. And we have the ability to kind of open ourselves up more to that flow, and also to become aware of where perhaps we have not been opening up to that flow. Where have we been resisting it? Where have there maybe been parts within our day-to-day life where there might have been like an intuition which might have said like, go this way, go that way, but instead you're just like, no, I just want to sit here with my headphones on or something like that. When you're out there doing things like sharing shift buttons, doing free hugs, that's a great way to practice kind of being in the flow. And you kind of practice kind of like feeling where the current is guiding you, where spirit is guiding you. And as you do this, it's amazing because when you do this, you find yourself showing up at the right place at the right time. And so what happens when you begin to understand that the universe is working with you and that the ways in which it works with you will be reaffirmed through synchronicities? And this isn't exactly talked about in here, but one of the things that I really like was a big part of my awakening, coincidentally, which was like out in Vancouver, was like really out in the West Coast, was really being able to understand that there's a higher part of yourself, the oversoul, call it what you want, fifth dimensional consciousness, that communicates to us here through the language of symbols, through the language of synchronicities. It's very dreamlike. The symbols are the kind of like the original origin, the original language of origin within this reality. And so when we practice going with flow, it will be reaffirmed through us by finding ourselves in the right place at the right time. By getting the feedback, and it may be a synchronicity or it may be someone's direct words. It may be someone saying like, wow, you know, the fact that you're here is like just what I needed to hear. Like you're a blessing in disguise. Like you're an answer to my prayers. And so what would that feel like to be an answer to someone's prayers? Kind of going back to the previous card we did, a lot of this is kind of like showing up in service. So you're not just kind of like going with the flow because you're just like, oh, I just want to attract all the things I can. I want to manifest all the abundance I can. I want to, you know, do this and this and this. But it's like, sometimes it's a mystery. Sometimes it's just like the flow will take me where I need to go, even if I don't know where that is. but I'll know it when I get there. And so this card, for you, Sebastian, and Augustina, and everyone, I think this card's subtle esoteric message has a lot to do with trust. And not only can you be aware of the law of efficiency and how to utilize it to be able to serve you, but can your trust and knowledge and wisdom of it allow you to be able to say yes to it with even more ease, with even more confidence? Well, at the same time, as it said, also knowing that you have the free will to go against the flow. And going against the flow can serve its own purpose. It can serve a way to be able to, again, kind of like learn something valuable. Because what if the flow is something that is more just like a collective hive mind, and it's not actually something that's fully aware of itself? Like, what if, like, it's like, you imagine this, you're like in high school, and there's like a group of people, and they're laughing at some nerdy kid because they've got like a funny like glasses or something, and all the other people are like, hey, you're a nerd, you're such a stupid derp, and one person does it, and then the other cool kids do it, and then your friends start doing it. And so in that moment, you would think that the flow would be to jump on the bandwagon and start making fun of this person because everyone else is doing it. Or, again, sometimes your intuition will tell you this flow needs to be interrupted. And that in itself, even though it may not feel efficient, is still what is needed. And then when you do that, you become the pattern interrupt. You become the mirror for the circumstance to see itself. You become the blessing in disguise. You become that act of sanity in an insane world. Again, like it's kind of like even when I do free hugs, it's just like, what if I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna go downtown and I'm just gonna go with the flow. If I was just to go downtown and go with the flow, that would be keeping my headphones on and going on a bus and minding my own business and walking to work and not talking to anyone, because that's what everyone else does, and that's what the flow is. So sometimes we need to be aware of what the flow is, and sometimes know that we need to create a new flow, that we need to create a new pattern, that we need to be able to bring our own rhythm into this, our own life, our own breath into this. Doing something like free hugs can seem entirely against the flow, but in doing so, it begins to create a new channel for a new flow. So sometimes I think, again, I'm kind of extrapolating this in my own way. It's like the law of efficiency is also being able to observe, where are things not fully efficient right now? For those of you on Instagram, if you click my bio link on, go to tune in on YouTube, click my bio link and tune in on YouTube. That way so you can watch on YouTube. But again, the law of efficiency is understanding, if you plant a seed at this time, it will grow properly, opposed to planting it at a time that's not proper. The law of efficiency is often oriented around the patterns in nature that are quite conditioned, things that we can't change. We can't change the seasons in this circumstance. But the law of efficiency is also something that can be interrupted through unconscious behavior over time, and then we, as individuals who are conscious of what the proper law of efficiency should be doing, may need to be able to say, like, yo, like this creek is all clogged up with drama and bullshit and lack of self-awareness. Let's like go against like the order and create a new channel to be able to create a new place for things to be able to flow and to bring in like fresh water and fresh stream and fresh kindness and new creativity. So, it's kind of like this idea of like, in order to make a difference, one must be the difference. And sometimes being the difference means going against that which may be easy. But at the same time, knowing that you going against that which is easy is also you creating, like bringing forth the original flow when it's in alignment with something such as kindness. and compassion. Whenever you are acting out of kindness and compassion, there will be a natural law of efficiency that will flow through you, that will help guide you in that moment. Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's like when you, again, it's kind of like, and I'll say this in a context, I know like specifically for Augustine and Sebastian, and like relative to, context that would be something that you would understand. When you kind of like take actions in kindness, it's kind of like again, like that Christ consciousness within you is kind of like helping guide you in that moment. It's kind of like you're like following in the law of efficiency that has actually like been passed on through the kindness of like teachers way before us, and it's like the ancestors are kind of walking with us in that sense. So again, I think this is a really, really cool card to be able to also be able to pay attention to timing and to also be patient. If things don't feel like the timing is right, or for whatever reason, like this card has a lot to do with listening to your intuition. Get good at that, because there may be a time where it may be like, oh, I'm going to go out and do this. But if there's like another part of you that's like, okay, it's not that I'm like scared to do it, but there's something inside of me that's just saying, wait, maybe I'll catch the next bus, and maybe that will evoke a synchronicity. Whatever you do, and I'll just say this, and this just goes for anything, whatever choice you make in life at any given point will have purpose. It will have meaning. It may not always be like one that's going to yield like the most lessons or the most growth, but there will always be meaning to whatever choice you make. And so in that case, you can never make a quote unquote wrong choice, so long as you're open to learning from the lessons that whatever choice you make provides, and to take responsibility for making that choice in the first place. Understand what I'm saying here? Is this resonating? You understand what I'm saying, friends? So again, one is working with the law of efficiency and the other is working against the tide of life. It is not bad to choose the harder way. Sometimes it can be a great learning experience, but you are encouraged with this oracle to explore the easier and more graceful way more often. So again, based on this card is just kind of inviting us. Work harder versus work smarter. In this case, focus on working smarter. And again, the smartness, sometimes that involves stepping back. Sometimes that involves analyzing, seeing the bigger picture. If you've been like hustling and trying to get ahead as an entrepreneur and you're just like, oh, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? Like it should be working. Da, 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 da. If it's not working, that doesn't mean you failed. That just means that the universe is slowly beginning to point you in a different direction. Where you feel resistance and obstacles is, again, just part of the path. It's a part of you being able to learn, oh, not that way. Oh, not that way. Again, it's like, it's kind of like the Thomas Edison thing, where it's like, oh, like, it took me X number of tries to be able to create a light bulb, but I found X number of ways of how not to do it. And that is eventually what led me to know how to do it. So again, it's like this is a really, really powerful card. And it reminds us that the universe has our back and that there is a grace in an order in which things can be performed. And when we choose to seek out that grace, and again, that's the name of the card is Divine Grace, the law of efficiency. What does grace mean? Grace means kind of like that natural flow, that natural ease, that spirit kind of working through you. And you can get good at that. You literally can. You can get good at being in that space of grace. Kind of like that. Kind of rhymes, right? It must be true. So for you, Sebastian and Augustina, we'll kind of like wrap this card up in a minute and then we'll do the invocation. Practice being in that space of grace. Know that there is a law of efficiency in any single day and any single opportunity, and seek it out. Find it. But this is important. I'll say this as a caveat. Don't try and use the law of efficiency to avoid situations. Don't use it to avoid responsibility. So say for example, it's like say you did something and someone's trying to like get you to own up for it. What's the easier choice? The easier choice might be to just like run away and to just like run away from your problems. That's the law of efficiency. No, not quite. That's you avoiding responsibility. So don't let the easy way always be the path that you're like always going to take. Sometimes you want to make the harder choice because the harder choice is actually going to be the one that's going to help you grow. But when you're seeking to make an impact, and when you're seeking to make a message, and when you're seeking to be able to be the hands of Jesus, of Krishna, of Buddha, of any sort of like higher conscious symbol that is acting through us in terms of spreading our kindness and our compassion, seek out that grace and allow it to amplify the way in which your message is heard, in which your message is seen, and your gifts are shared, because the universe is there to be able to support you in doing that. If you have a message, a genuine message of kindness and compassion, the universe wants you to bring that forth, especially in a way that's like very just, again, open and understanding. Never try and like force your beliefs on anyone. It's always more of like an invitation for people to be able to just kind of like celebrate, for them to celebrate their own open-mindedness, to be able to ask questions as opposed to just seeking answers, and ultimately to be able to find a common ground in kindness and compassion and the virtues that unite all of us beyond any single one belief or religion or anything like that. And call it the golden rule or whatever you want to call it. But again, it's being able to like see the spark in each and every single one of us. And that is powerful. When we know the light within us is a light that's in you and you and you and you and that person and that person and that person who's really cool and that person who's homeless on the street and that person who's maybe going through a hard day today, and to know that it is all inside of us. And when your mission, your service is to be able to like show up and to bring kindness into that reality, the universe will pave a way of grace for you to do so. And when you're open to it, you'll see it. And you'll get good at seeing it. And you'll get good at being in the flow. And you'll get good at working alongside the universe and being able to share messages that are going to change people's lives. And for you to be able to see yourself show up in those moments, and for you to be able to develop a deeper trust. And it's a very beautiful thing. It's a very psychedelic thing. It's a very kind of like non-linear, higher conscious idea. Very, very, very cool. And again, it's kind of like the same thing. Like when I do free hugs, like I go out there with the knowing that the synchronicity like will connect me with the right people at the right time. It's all about the intention that you bring into your work. Again, if you're try this is kind of an experiment off the top of my head. I'm not actually telling you to try this, but what if your objective was to spend your day being an asshole to people? Do you think the universe would create a law of efficiency for you to do that? I would hope not. But when your intention is in alignment with virtues of kindness and compassion, the universe will kind of like, it'll like part the seas for you. You know, the bus will arrive at the right time. The right person will meet you at the right moment. Things will begin to align, and you'll be reminded that this path is being supported by more than just the temporal, physical elements that are before us, but there's kind of like this higher conscious, non-linear perspective on this, where your oversoul is kind of like playing the game too and moving the pieces around, and you can trust that and you can show up to that and you can be a part of that ease and allow that message to just be amplified. Let me know 1111 if this resonates for you. Again, I think, again, the whole deck that we're pulling here is, again, the Lightworker Oracle deck. So in the context of light workers, light warriors, light guardians, this is an important message to be able to be reminded of. Divine grace, the law of efficiency, going with the flow, going with the rhythms of nature, and being able to work alongside the universe, knowing that it is there to serve you. Sebastian Augustina, drop an 1111 in the chat if this resonates with you. Anybody else, also leave your comments, and we'll read those on air. I'm going to read the invocation here. Aloha. Hey, Jenna, thanks for tuning in. Yo, So Wolf, and anybody else who may be tuning in for the first time. For those of you who may be... Mandy, hey Mandy, for those of you who may be tuning on Instagram, click my bio link to tune in on YouTube. Augustina, are you watching on Instagram now? Are you not in the YouTube anymore? Is that what happened? I hope you still got the reading there. Okay, you're there too. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right. And again, if you want to share how this resonates with you, go ahead. And again, and Augustina, I think for you and Sebastian, I think this is a card that's not only saying, hey, make sure you're like, do this, but again, it's kind of reminding you that you're already doing this. That this is already something that's been in play and will continue to be in play. And you've seen this. You Augustina, like you've literally spent like, you know, you've given out like over like 50 shift buttons. You've seen this in action. And again, for anybody here, get shift buttons from me and experience this for yourself. Like, I'm not just telling you buy my stuff. Like, I'm telling you because I want you to use these as tools because they work and they're powerful. And again, the shift buttons, those are the buttons that I wear with the websites and the conscious symbolism on them. Okay, I'm going to read this invocation. Hey, Michelle, thank you so much for joining in for your first time. Welcome. We're going to read this invocation. As I'm reading this invocation, just kind of listen as if it's you speaking this, and feel free to repeat it back. Okay. Invocation. I call upon the loving grace and master intelligence of the universe through the law of efficiency and the path of least resistance. Please bless and guide me now in all ways for maximum success, joy, and divinely inspired fulfillment. May my efforts be wise and surrendered, powerful and efficient. Excuse me. May all beings be assisted through divine mercy to discover the path of grace and divine efficiency. Through my own free will, unconditional love, and divine grace, so be it. Cool. All right. So again, very, very powerful card. So thank you, Augustina. Thank you, Sebastian, our newest Patreon supporter. And thank you, everyone, for simply holding space and being open to receiving this message. And then you'll be able to take it with you and bring it out into the world and do free hugs and give out shift buttons and just do acts of kindness and follow your spirit, follow your flow. And again, you can't change the ocean, but you can learn how to ride the waves. So that's my next meme tomorrow. I think I'll put that up. What do you think? You can't change the ocean, but you can learn to ride the waves, right? Speaking of change the ocean, let's clean that up a bit. So, all right. Awesome. Augustina said we handed out free hugs at the mall today. Wanted to give out more buttons. I know, right? Like, doing free hugs by themselves is powerful. Doing buttons by themselves is powerful. Doing free hugs while doing buttons, super powerful, right? All right, so there we go. Divine grace, law of efficiency. Thank you so much. Again, Sebastian, thank you so much, Augustina, for holding space for that. Super, super cool. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we'll take a quick intermission here. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. If you're just tuning in, welcome. My name's Brendan. We're doing tarot readings here. I'll decide whether or not we're going to do another tarot reading if we do have another person signing up on the Patreon in the next, like, 10 minutes, give or take. Otherwise, I'm going to be calling it a night, and then we'll come back again because we've already been broadcasting for several hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, and we've gotten two new signups tonight, which is awesome. And if we can get one more sign up tonight, that would be super, super cool. So do we do 3 readings? How many? Yeah, we've done 3 readings. I felt like we did more. Each reading was almost like 45 minutes, so it gets pretty in depth. So, all right, awesome. Thank you again. For those of you tuning in on Instagram, if you click the link in my bio, you can tune in on YouTube there. Again, if anybody else has any comments on that last reading, drop an 1111 in the chat. Let me know it resonated with you. Hey, Erica, thanks for joining in. Glad you made it. And yeah, so again, for anybody here, if you would like to be able to jump jump the line and get on air for this next reading, you can go ahead and sign up for the Patreon. It only takes about 3 minutes to be able to sign up. And when you sign up on there, you get a lot of awesome value that we provide for the community. At the $11 level, you can choose to be able to get a Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal. And you can also have access to me as your private conscious media creation coach if you're interested in learning how to be able to create more content and get your message out there and to develop awesome relationship and to start your own Patreon and to build community and to do what you want to do for a living. So if anybody here is in the process of wanting to sign up for the Patreon, just leave a comment right now and let me know. Augustina, reading your comment for some feedback, says, "Thank you so much. You are amazing. We love the reading. Bang on for both of us." I think it was both of us in the card for sure. Totally, Augustina. I definitely agree with that. Like, I mean, you saw the image, right? Like, I guess, did I put it into the deck already? Yeah, I mean, you saw the image. Like, I'll have to send you a picture of that. Like, I literally, like, the two of you kind of called in that card, and then there was two people in the card image. So it was very much like that was you. That was totally you in that card. And again, you pulling that card was also a message for a lot of other people. So thank you. Again, us doing these readings is like kind of like the law of efficiency live in action too, which is really, really cool. All right, so again, thank you everyone. We're just kind of taking a break. If we do have another Patreon sign up, I'll do one more reading. Otherwise, we are going to call it a night and wrap things up in the next little bit. So what do you guys want to do? If someone else here is ready to be able to sign up for the Patreon, let me know. And we will make sure that I stay on for the next couple minutes to be able to hold space for someone to do that. Again, if someone has already signed up for the Patreon, if you want to just be able to help get a reading for the entire community, one of the ways you can do that is by updating your Patreon pledge. And again, I'll just show off some Lumerian Light Guardian crystals here as well. I've got quite a few. I spent a lot of time making some, and there's always more that I'm making. So let's see, and every single one's different. You know, a lot of people will get like caught up in the size of Light Guardian crystals, but really like every one is like a bead on like a pearl necklace, and it's not really the size that matters. Again, it's more so the symbol that is important. So don't get caught up if you're just like, oh, like I want the biggest one possible. It's like, I encourage you to be equally as happy with one that's maybe not so big and maybe one that's like a little defunct. Like those ones need love too. They need a home too. Like every single one's kind of different. Every single one's kind of got a different story to it, which I think is actually really, really meaningful. You know, like there's some in here that might have like a little glitch to them, but they need a good home too. Here's a super beautiful blue one as well. Love this one. Each one is unique. Each one is special. Each one is beautiful in its own way, just like you. Oh, we're crystals. We're crystals with weird, funky things that may not be totally perfect, but still equally beautiful. So, all right. So again, if you want to sign up on the Patreon at the $11 level, you can claim a free Lumerian Light Guardian crystal with the agreement that you'll continue contributing to the Patreon ongoing to the best of your ability. And you'll also get a lot of other cool stuff, such as access to me as your conscious media creation coach, and also the option to join as a leading member within the community, and also the option to be able to have like your content published through the community and lots of other cool stuff there. So there's a really cool, you guys like that red one? This one's like super cool. Again, these are like little lightsabers and stuff like that. So again, I got a whole box here, and yeah, sending these all to a good home, and I hope they make their way to you. I would want everyone here to be able to have their own Light Guardian crystal. They're very, very special. They're very unique, and again, that's just one of the awesome things that we provide as value for the Patreon supporters. So want to be able to help make it easy for you to be able to say like yes to the Patreon. All right. All right. So thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. I just want to be able to hold space. If there's anybody who wants to sign up for the Patreon in the next couple minutes, please let me know. That way, so we can decide. If there is no one else signing up for the Patreon in the next little minute, then we're gonna wrap it up. We got about, according to Facebook, there's over 20 people signed up on Facebook right now. Like watching on Facebook right now. I don't know if your comments, like if you're watching this on Facebook, I encourage you to jump over to youtube.com/skullbabylon, because it's possible you may be commenting and I might not be seeing your comments. Meaning you might be commenting if a friend shared it somewhere else, and it may be in a chat that I'm not even aware of. So just keep that in mind. And if you are tuned in on YouTube, then I can definitely see your comments there. But again, if you're looking to be able to get a next reading on air, not just for you, but when you sign up for the Patreon, you're supporting like the ongoing creation for the community and the ongoing value that we're providing for the community. Again, I want to be able to do at least one more reading on air. So if someone's ready to sign up for that Patreon, let's do that. And we will get ready for that next reading. So again, I'm going to post a link again for the Patreon into the YouTube chat. So for those of you who may be new, we do readings here for the community. It's like collective readings and individual readings at the same time. And sorry, is my link, hold on, I think YouTube's glitching out again, and it's not like posting my comments properly, so I just have to, it's why is it doing that? That's weird. I don't know why it's doing that. So give me 2 seconds here. I just have to re-log in, but then you'll be able to see my comments properly in YouTube. Can you guys see my comments in YouTube now? Is it there now? No. Is it there now? There we go. Okay. That happens sometimes. Humans are considered living light crystal. You know it. You know it, dude. Awesome. Shuzazu says, amazing what you were doing here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you as well. And again, I really appreciate everybody acknowledging the value that we are creating here as a community. So again, for those of you who may be watching this on Facebook, I am totally down to do another reading, and we'll do that next reading once we have another person signed up for the Patreon. And again, if it's your first time here, you can sign up for the Patreon at any point. Our objective is to be able to get as many new Patreon supporters before January 1st, because that's when the next round of donations process. And again, when you sign up on the Patreon, you're getting a lot of awesome value. As I said, including the option to be able to get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal when you sign up at the preferred level of $11, which also lets you join as a leading member and gives you access to me as a conscious media creation coach. And lots of other cool stuff. Here's a beautiful purple one. I love this purple one. Look at that. Do you guys like my purple theme for this broadcast? I love the color purple. Like, I just think it's like such a cool, badass color, quite frankly, like the purple and black. So again, you can like use these for like dancing and stuff too. They're like little UFOs too. All right. For those of you tuning in on Facebook, be sure to connect with me on Instagram as well. You can see my Instagram up in the top corner, Mystic Spider-Man. And again, if you jump over to YouTube, you can jump into the YouTube comments there. Right now, we're just kind of hanging tight. I want to be able to just hold space to invite another person to sign up for the Patreon who's ready to do so. And then we will do another on-air reading together for the community. And that will probably be the last reading for tonight. Otherwise we're just gonna it's like my voice is gonna cut out, so I kind of have to create a limit for myself. But again, the fact that we've got like over 20 people tuned in on Facebook means that you're obviously like, you're here, you're appreciating the value. I hope you've already gotten to hear some of the previous readings that we've already done, just so that you can get familiar. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can get more notifications for future broadcasts that we're doing. And yeah, just thank you for being here and for holding space and for like helping change the world by being your authentic self and sharing your gifts and constantly growing. All right. All right. Okay. So if there's anybody here who's looking for a reading or interested in signing up for the Patreon, go ahead, leave a comment in the chat, let me know, and we will get ready to do so. Because again, I want to be able to do so, especially if there's like 20 people who are tuned in right now. One of the people who is tuned in right now, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, it only takes about 3 minutes to do so. And again, signing up on the Patreon, that supports what I do with a monthly micro contribution and the work that I do for the community, which is doing tarot broadcasts like these, other broadcasts, and sweet, awesome. Okay, cool. Erica just updated her Patreon pledge. So okay, so there we go. So thanks, Erica. Appreciate it. Erica is already signed up for the Patreon and updated their Patreon pledge. So if that's the case, then Erica, let me know. Would we want to just kind of pull a general card for the team? Do you want me to pull a card kind of like specific for you? What would you like, Erica? I'll let you decide. And thank you to Erica. Let's hear a nice thank you to Erica for updating her pledge. And again, if we can get another Patreon, like a new sign up, that would be huge. And if someone, again, I mentioned this before, if you need the incentive, because I'll do it. I don't mind dancing for a good cause. If someone wants to like sign up for the Patreon and wants me to do a slightly drunk tarot reading, like as in like I'll drink some cider, that doesn't need to be in quotes, go ahead and sign up for the Patreon and I'll let you know. And again, the purpose for that is purely novelty. Like I'm not like really big into drinking, but I'm not against doing it purely to amuse you either. So awesome. Thanks, Erica. All right, for the team. Okay, Erica wants to do a reading for the team. Okay, so let's do this reading, and we'll kind of do this one. What do you think, Erica? Well, Erica, I'll let you decide. Lightworker Oracle or Ananda Tarot deck. We just did 2 Lightworker Oracle readings back to back, so I'll let you decide. Awesome. Erica is a super awesome musician, by the way. She went to the same college that I went to, and yeah, she makes like a really she makes a lot of like really cool like electronic stuff that's like it crosses like a lot of genres and everything like that, and a lot of it is like kind of inspired by spiritual themes and like kind of like video game stuff too at the same time. Erica, please feel free to share your links in the chat. You're more than welcome to do so and invite more people to connect to your stuff. For everybody here, go ahead and share your Instagram. Let's all make sure that we're following each other on Instagram to the best of our abilities. So just share your @ sign at Instagram and your @ handle. And then we can do that. All right, Erica wants to do the Lightworker Oracle deck. Sounds good. You guys really like the Lightworker Oracle deck, don't you? I understand why. Like it's more, I don't know, it's kind of like more, I mean, even for me, it's like still new. Like there's X number of cards in here. Is there 42 cards in here? How many cards are in here? I feel like there's 42 cards. Is there? No, there's more. There's 44 cards. Oh, I guess that makes sense too. So, all right, okay. So we still got about 20 people tuned in on the Facebook. So for all of you here, give a nice warm thank you to Erica as we get ready to go into this next reading. I'm gonna kind of do this as like kind of like a mini reading because I want to be able to like save my energy if we have another person signing up like for the Patreon for the first time and ready to do their reading as well. Okay, so again, I think there's a bunch of people who are tuned in on Facebook right now, and you're probably commenting in the chats and I'm not seeing your comments because maybe someone shared this somewhere else. And if so, just be aware that if you're commenting, I'm probably not seeing your comments because right now, like I'm not seeing any new comments in the Facebook. So be sure to tune in on youtube.com/skullbabylon, and you can join on the YouTube there and join in the YouTube chat. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and like this video if you haven't already yet. And let's get one more Patreon sign up before the end of the night. I will not go to sleep until we get one more Patreon sign up. That's a promise. No, we'll see. I'll play it by ear. I can't stay up all night. I've got work tomorrow, aka working for you guys. So you wouldn't want me to stay up all night. All right, we got broadcast tomorrow, Synergy Circle tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in on YouTube for it. All right. Okay. Erica, I'm gonna ask you to say now into the chat for this one. I'm gonna ask you to help conduct this. And as we're doing this, let's invite another Patreon sign up as we're doing this. And again, I'll post. I'm not posting the link again in the Facebook because there's no new chat messages. So for those of you watching on Facebook but maybe not in the same chat, you can see the Patreon link there. It only takes about 3 minutes to sign up. And again, when you sign up, you can get a beautiful Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal. If you sign up at the $11 level, you can sign up at whatever level. And again, at the $11 level, you can also have all the other perks of being involved as a leading member, such as having access to me as your private conscious media creation coach, which again is worth like over $5 million a month in itself. I know my worth. Why not, right? Okay. All right, Erica, let's do this. Thank you again for your support. Thank you again, everyone. Share this broadcast if you haven't yet. Let's see what message the universe has. We're gonna do this. This one's gonna be like a bit of a speed run. All right, Erica, drop into that heart space. Take a breath. Be in that place of gratitude. Everybody here, if you just want to close your eyes, imagine us just in like a circle. Imagine even just like a circle of like flames, points of light. Just focus our intention towards the middle of show us what we need to see. This one's going to be more of a community reading. Erica's just helping facilitate it. Erica, speak forth that intention. Show us what we need to see. Everybody here, speak that intention with your heart, with your mind, with your voice. Show us what we need to see. Take a few moments here, add a couple more breaths. I'm going to charge the deck, and Erica, once you're ready, type now into the chat. And as the waves of the ocean continue to roll, may we constantly continue to reach these new goals of tapping into the magic that is within, of seeing the gift that has always been. And as Erica types now into the chat, we shall split the deck and see what message the universe has. Whoosha! Pew, pew, pew. All right. Let's see what we got. Okay. The card that we have pulled, thanks to Erica, one of our Patreon supporters who updated their Patreon pledge, and to everyone here, on behalf of everyone here, the card that we have pulled for you, a message that we have brought forth from the cosmos of the universe and stuff, is number 36, Reassurance of the Golden Light. Ooh. All right, let me open up the book and we'll dive a little bit deeper into this one. Again, as we're doing this, let's get a new Patreon sign up. Support, add your support, and we'll do. I just want to go to sleep. Please help me go to sleep by signing up on Patreon. I'm just joking. If we don't get a new Patreon sign up after this, we'll probably call it a night. So this may be the last reading for tonight. But like I said, we'll keep going as long as we keep getting more Patreon signups, because we're working towards those missions and we're doing it as a team. Thank you. All right, looking at this image here, what do we got? Yo, Chris, good to see you, dude. Number 36, Reassurance of the Golden Light. This is kind of similar to the image of the last one. We got this image of what appears to be a female, could be kind of a male. Again, doesn't really matter. They have their hands kind of in a prayer position, pointed up towards the sky. And you kind of got this like angelic, god-ish image in the sky, a higher dimensional being, call it what you will, with a beautiful kind of solar halo around it. And there's like kind of got like a beard and stuff like that. And she's got these white robes, and the sky is almost kind of like a sunset sky or a sunrise sky with the light of the sun hitting underneath the clouds. And it's got like this celestial explosion coming out from their head. And just the look on their face, very peaceful, very serene, very beautiful. Awesome. Alright, so let's read into this card and see what it says. Alright, let's dive into this. Okay. 36. Reassurance of the golden light. Again, if you're listening to this message is for you. Thank you for showing up. The golden light comes to you as a gift of grace and reassurance. It is an embrace from the universe, an expression of divine comfort and a sign of hope. When the golden light appears, it is a sign that everything in your life, even the most troubling matters, is going to work out perfectly. They are held in the grateful hand of the divine, and will be resolved more swiftly and beautifully than you might expect. The golden light is a very real phenomenon, although you may only perceive it when you are particularly relaxed and your clairvoyance is already developed. However, whether you see it physically or not, it is real and powerful. If you could see it clairvoyantly, it would look similar to the golden rays of a setting sun. The same warmth, loving glow is cast over your heart and mind when the golden light is shining upon you. If you are in a room when it comes upon you, you will wonder if a light has been switched, as the glow is as noticeable as if a lamp had been placed in your room, its warmth illuminating the space. In truth, grace and divine assistance are always there for the asking, but there are times when we are in need of extra support. During such times, ironically enough, we can forget to ask for help. Perhaps you are struggling with a particularly difficult time in an initiation or challenging choice lies before you. Or maybe you have taken a leap and just need to know that you are doing the right thing, and somehow, even though you don't feel in control of what is happening, it is going to work out. When the golden light is given to you, it is freely done so, as a gift from the heart of the universe. It is letting you know that you are a child of the universe, and that you are dearly loved. It is reminding you that, it is letting you know that it is reminding you that on the path, the struggle to continue with trust, patience, faith, and courage can seem almost overwhelming. However, the universe is with you, supporting, loving, and believing in you every step of the way. You are not alone. You are never forgotten. You are always loved and encouraged to take your journey. You are reminded that the universe is smiling upon you. There are times when you will call upon the golden light because you know that you are in need of that loving consciousness, and it is appropriate that you do this. You can see the invocation below. There are times, however, when you will just feel, sense, see, and know that the golden light is being given to you as a spiritual gift from the universe. Such is the case now, as you have drawn this card, as you have been drawn to this oracle, you are being asked to just feel peace. Trust, know that everything is working out perfectly, and you don't have to worry, even though you don't know why you shouldn't possibly feel that way. The golden light is wisdom and love. It knows, and sometimes that is all you need to know in order to be at peace. Very cool, very cool. So again, with a card like this is like really echoing themes that have already shown up prior with the other readings. And kind of like what we were talking about before, this idea of like, be it the challenges, be it the times that are just like testing us, they in themselves are still the universe like unfolding in its perfect manner, even if it doesn't seem like it at the time. And so with this card, it's really just kind of reminding us that even if we don't actually see this golden ray, this golden light, the radiance of the golden light, it is still a knowing that we can carry with us. And that knowing is why it is the power. Would you need to see a miracle every single time just to be able to be reminded that miracles are real? Or do you only need to see it once in order to know that miracles are always real? Think about that. And so with this card, it really reflects and invites us to kind of to carry with us that wisdom with confidence, with trust, with excitement, with intrigue. Let the mystery call forth your courage. Let the unknown evoke your excitement. Oh, what's that? You don't know what's around the corner? Well, lo and behold, it's a gift. Lo and behold, it's something that's going to serve you. That's something that's going to assist you. But again, even still, you still have the free will to choose how you respond. And so with this card, it really brings it back to gratitude. It really brings it back to kindness, to love, and to kindness for ourselves, and for a deeper connection with the universal love. Again, kind of what we were talking about, the universe isn't always just here to make you happy, but it's here to evolve your consciousness. It's here to grow your spirit. It's helped you to evolve as a student. And so like this reassurance of the golden light is kind of like, it's almost like, that's like, I don't know what the right metaphor here is. It's like the unseen teacher that has always got your back, even when you forget that you're the student in the classroom, gently kind of like reminding you of how to be able to, you know, reminding you that even for those pop quizzes, you actually already know the answers, that you actually like already have the ability to be able to meet it in a way that's going to serve you, for you to be able to receive what you need from that moment. And so there are going to be moments where, you know, like a gift might be put in front of us, but if our hands aren't ready to receive it, it might fall right through our fingers. And so this is kind of, again, a card that kind of, even as like the hands are kind of shown like kind of in prayer position here, it's kind of like inviting us to kind of like be ready to receive, to be ready to receive the reassurance of this golden light. And again, to be able to invite us, like this is like can you get really good at kind of like being reminded of this and cultivating the sense of calmness, of peace, of serenity, even in the midst of a storm? This card reminds us that we can, because this card actually reminds us that it's a choice. And that choice comes from a higher wisdom of understanding more about like kind of like the non-linear elements of this reality. And that's where a lot of people struggle, because they haven't seen that. They haven't experienced that. They were never taught that. They think time is linear. They see the future as uncertain. It's not that the future is uncertain. It's just that the future may be unknown to us, but not to the bigger story. And if we know that the bigger story is being written for our best good, then therefore, can't we give ourselves the permission to relax, knowing that that story is actually going to play itself out in a way that's going to serve us? And again, that doesn't mean get passive and not try to learn. It means you can do your best to be able to be relaxed and to be able to observe whatever lessons you may be going through with as much mindfulness as possible in that present moment, to be able to receive them with as much articulation, and to be able to embody it and integrate it as best as you can. Drop an 1111 if that makes sense, if you understand what I'm pulling forth from this card. The Instagram broadcast is going to drop out in a second. For those of you watching on Instagram, click the bio link on my bio to be able to jump over to YouTube before this broadcast finishes itself off, which I'm going to do. So, yo, Alien Mermaid, I'm going to end this broadcast. Click the link in my bio if you want to keep watching on YouTube. And this is like, I think this is our last reading for tonight anyways. Okay, I got to end it now. Okay, jump over, click my link on my bio. See you there. Okay. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to restart the broadcast on Instagram. Like I said, I think this may be our last reading for tonight, just because I don't want to overdo it. Otherwise, I'll just get too tired. But if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon, please do so, and I can give you a private reading. which is totally cool. So again, not really gonna, like, with this card, just kind of reiterating. Again, it's kind of like that, like, figure in the sky, like that's kind of like the programmer of this reality, and just being reminded that this programmer is one that is like seeing the whole game unfold before us, the beginning and the end, and we are like right where we need to be in order to be able to play a part of a bigger story. And so this game is kind of, I like this part. Now is the time to balance with resilience, strength, and even divine stubbornness, refusing to give up. Oh wait, am I reading a different? Okay, never mind. I was just reading a completely different one. I thought I was on a different page. Anyways, I like that. Divine stubbornness. What card was that about? We'll have to go back and find out later. There are times when you call upon the golden light because you know that you are in need in that loving consciousness, and it is appropriate that you do. You can use the invocation below. There are times, however, when you will feel it, see it, sense it, and know that the golden light is being given to you as a spiritual gift from the universe. Such is the case now as you've drawn to this oracle. You are being asked to just feel peace, trust, know that everything is working out perfectly and you don't have to worry. This really speaks to something that I've had experience with, and we all have. There's one time when I went to California and I was filming the Journey to Lucidity movies, which you can find on my YouTube channel, and there are things, and they were like not going to my plan, and then eventually I had to kind of adopt this mindset of radical non-worriness, meaning that whatever was happening, it was a waste of my energy to try and like worry about it. And instead I just had to be able to relax. And when I relaxed, I was able to kind of like find the playfulness in the moment, even if it wasn't fully what I had originally planned. And then out of that, flash forward 6 months later when I'm finished editing the movie and it turns into this like super awesome movie that's hard to imagine it any other way. But if I had done it in my quote unquote way I wanted to, that movie wouldn't have existed. So again, that for me was like kind of like really powerful. But again, this idea of radical non-worriness is something that I invite you to practice. Can you practice that? Can you practice radical non-worriness? And again, that doesn't mean don't care. It just means to be able to kind of like give yourself the gift of inviting peace into any single moment. So we'll read the invocation here, and as I read this, I invite everybody to kind of like, again, reflect as if they're speaking this to themselves. Invocation. I call upon the reassurance of the golden light, the comfort of the divine spirit, and the loving grace of the universe. Thank you for being with me now, for bringing me peace and reassurance even in my darkest moments. Thank you for sharing a special truth with me, that you love and hold and cherish and assist me always. I love you. Thank you for loving me. May the golden light heal all beings of fear and doubt, gently bestowing mercy, compassion, and loving reassurance of divine presence into the hearts of all. Through divine grace and my own free will, so be it. Cool. Awesome. So again, this card just kind of like reminding us of the bigger story, that this is the universe like unfolding as it may to be able to help us grow. And part of the lesson sometimes is to be able to not push aside our feelings, but just to be able to reflect and be like, is this serving me? Is worrying about this serving me? Worrying about it comes from the perspective of like kind of, you know, the uncertainty. But what if you knew that it was already going to work out? And part of it working out is by you being able to trust that in the process. It's kind of like it's like a Dr. Manhattan kind of thing where it's like he knows the future and then he's just kind of like following a path, and it's kind of like his free will's kind of all different than ours. It's kind of like that. But it's a very powerful way to be able to understand and perceive reality from a non-linear perspective, because it definitely evokes deep trust and a very powerful perspective that can also bring forth a lot of confidence and a lot of excitement. Oh, what's that? The unknowns before you? Oh, sweet. Let's get excited and show up as best as we can and respond opposed to react. And again, to keep showing up as the best teacher that we can. So there we go. So that's that card there, number 36. The gift of the radiance of the golden light. So thank you, Erica, for increasing your Patreon pledge and bringing that to the team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And awesome. All right, sweet. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. As you can tell, we've been doing this broadcast for a few hours now, so we're kind of winding down. I'll just hold on tight. If there's anybody else who wants to sign up on the Patreon in the next couple minutes, please feel free to let me do so, to let me know that you're doing so. And I'll have to see. Like, I mean, I think, honestly, I think I'm ready to just call it a night because we've been going, it's almost been 4 hours already. So, but if anybody wants to sign up for the Patreon at any time, absolutely do so. And you can get all sorts of awesome perks and benefits and rewards to be able to support you. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And a reminder for Patreon supporters, you can always like invite your friends to be able to support on the Patreon. That's a huge way to be able to support. Like, even if you're like, maybe you're not in a position to sign up for the Patreon, but maybe you can still like let people know that the Patreon exists and that they are invited to be able to check it out as well. Okie dokie. Sweet. All right. Last call for any new Patreon signups. And again, for those of you who maybe tuned in, how many people do we even have tuned in right now? See, I think we, like, according to Facebook, there's like 25 people watching this on Facebook, and I am not seeing any of their comments. So either they're not commenting or they're commenting somewhere where I am not seeing it. So if you're commenting on this Facebook post somewhere, thank you. However, I don't think I'm seeing it. But either way, I think we're going to get ready to wrap this up unless there's anybody else who wants to sign up for the Patreon. Again, patreon.com/Brendan Culton. Sign up on Patreon for readings and rewards. And again, when you sign up on there, you can get all sorts of cool stuff, such as the beautiful Light Guardian crystals. The preferred reading, the preferred level is the $11 level. And that also gets you, again, the Lumerian Light Guardian Crystal, access to me as a private conscious media creation coach, the option to join as a leading member within the community for Paradigm Shift Central, the ability to join on air for our future Synergy Circle broadcasts, the ability for us to be able to help feature and publish your content through the Paradigm Shift Central project to help it reach more people. Lots of awesome stuff. So if you're like thinking of like developing conscious media, if you want to help reach more people, if you want to be in a team of people who are doing similar things, definitely be sure to connect with us. And again, just check out my Patreon, even if you're not sure about signing up, and just read a little bit more and follow the links there. Check out paradigmshiftcentral.com. Connect to me on Instagram. For everybody here, drop your Instagrams into the chat if you didn't already do that. And and yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, we'll be back here for more broadcasts. I'm probably gonna go live Monday. Again, the objective is we're working on inviting as many people as we can to the Patreon before January 1st, and then we'll keep pushing it even more, riding the flow, going with the divine grace. And again, your support there just helps us increase our global impact. It supports me. It helps me buy food, and it helps me continue to do awesome work for the community, and it's all super, super appreciated. So thank you so much. Everyone here, please feel free to just leave your comments of gratitude down into the chat, and we will wrap up this broadcast officially in the next minute and call it a night and go get some sleep. And mission accomplished. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. This was an awesome broadcast. We did got a lot of awesome messages and inspiration out of the readings tonight, so thank you. Erica saying, good night, Brendan. Thank you. You're awesome. Go Paradigm Shift. Awesome. Thank you, Erica. Thank you for being one of our leading members. And thank you again, everyone. Thank you to Mark, one of our leading members as well. Shuzazu. Thank you to Geronimus. Thank you to Any other Patreon supporters who perhaps I'm not acknowledging because I'm not entirely sure who their usernames are all the time. Thank you to Chris. Thank you to Bill Bonnie and Meta. And I'm just scrolling up right now. And anybody else who's tuned in right now. All right. Cool. Awesome. All right. You guys know where to find me. Message me on Instagram or Facebook if you have any questions. If you are looking to sign up for the Patreon, sign up at any point. If you need to be able to check with me about something first, let me know. And yeah, I'd happy to be able to help answer and support you and invite you to be able to be involved with what we're creating here within the Paradigm Shift Central community. So let me just see here. Okay, I'm just taking a look here. Just trying to see if there's like comments that I'm still missing. Dun, 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 dun. No, I don't think so. Okay, cool. Sweets. All right, we are ready to wrap it up. And after I'm done this broadcast, I'm gonna go take it easy, but I'm also gonna be probably doing some more work. So the work is it's fun though. I enjoy it, and I appreciate everybody else again. So all right, thank you, Augustina, of course. Thank you as well. Just saw your comment there. Thank you, and Sebastian, thank you as well. Our newest Patreon supporters tonight. So we're currently at 151 Patreon supporters. Let's keep getting that up. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to keep in touch. And as always, keep it shifty. And we will see you in the future. Mystic Spider-Man on Instagram, ParadigmShiftCentral.com, and YouTube.com/Skull Babylon. Send me a message on any platform. Join our team chat. The link for that is in the YouTube info if you want to connect further. Connect with each other on Instagram. And yeah, I think we did it. Mission accomplished. Broadcast complete. Ending transmission. Until next time, much love, peace, and wholeness. Thank you again, everyone. See you in the future.